Hello, all, and welcome. I'm your not-so-humble Game Master TJ, and this is Dice of Ages presenting CrestVahllen C3. Last time, a lot of stuff happened, a lot of lore happened, so... say hello, everybody, my wayward Fae travelers.
We're not in the Fae anymore. Yeah. Don't you put that on me.
Or are you?
This was all a dream.
This was all a dream. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to do the recap, because why the hell not? Let's go right into it. So, last time, as Queenie, the ochre ibkest with an affinity for fungi and bees, leads the party deeper into the heart of the Midnight Athenaeum, the gang learned that they are familiar with some members of the Argent Flame, as well as some history on the Protectorate capital and recent events, including the Pulsing, an unfortunate side effect of the library's proprietor being out of sorts. Within the inner sanctum, Ultier Athradian, Grand Archmage of the Midnight Athenaeum, and an ancient once human who now exists as a conscious stationary mass of referential enchanted tomes and scrolls, greets the wayward travelers. A lengthy discourse ensues as the band are informed of much, including the existence of a dragon protege, Lastrasia, the political influence of Queenie's Station, the recent bout and banishment of an ancient blind demonic entity that was the remnant of a bygone incursion, the circa multi-millennia, multi-soul amalgamate anachronistic status of Fade, the ambitions of Lady Rhea, and the self-immolation of some of the long-scrambled archmage's more powerful magics. A discussion is had concerning the current Virgin Pantheon and their attempted extermination of the primeval elemental forces of old, before Athradian divulges his participation as a member of the Enduring Conclave, and how it was originally formed by a cadre of 7 influential individuals with the sole purpose of ending the war and reinstating peace. The archaic mage is warned of the Ichor and the ongoing Fey incursion of the Shalian Cradle, as Ultier refers the group to Miladonath for more info on Cold Iron. Fade agrees to the 3-century mentorship program on magic, while Queenie gives Bast a beeswax parchment intended for the Argent Flame's resident wizard. Fatigue claims the party as they soon retire in a seemingly endless metaphysical realm of Ultier's creation. Bast drifts off within an orb of water as Osfer rests on a stone slab, both finding themselves within the same shared dark and partially flooded dreamscape. An intrusive idea-like being demands a deal in recompense for its spoken name, as both are threatened with permanent transformed lycanthropy. However, the duo resists, and the idea departs, as its words hang in their minds. My brother owns you already. Meanwhile, Fade collates raw data of potential memories while charging in a pool of oil. The morning begins with Bast's attempt to transform into a sea wolf, with mixed success, and a shared breakfast produced by animated tableware and furniture. The party read the note left by Maeve, curious of the transitive text, "I hope you don't read this," that seems to shift constantly to a wide spectrum of intentions. Talk and research begins on the resurgence, the Flamewood, the spirit Ooja, the fall of Azul Yaskala, and Selendis' daughter, Yaskrin. Queenie requests that the gang keep their eye out for an individual wearing a Plague Doctor's mask, and perhaps some aid in tracking down an individual named Devleader with ties to Noxectra, believed to be involved in the murder of a would-be monastic order member. Fade is gifted a defunct and decrepit artifact that perhaps was once an ancient arcane cannon from the war, before farewells are bade and ways are made out into the Strita proper, the great capital of the Protectorate. Cool. So we're going to pick up from there. Is there anything else you guys would like to do here in the Midnight Athenaeum before venturing out to the greater circumference of the area?
Not that I can think of.
How is he, may I ask how I'm supposed to be mentored?
Yeah, that's a good question. You are assumed that you are staying and not leaving, as like those two start to, well, like Ultier goes like, we should begin our teachings and lectures on what is actually magic. Yes, quite. The nature of it is just a conversation and a dialogue with the universe itself, manipulating, convincing it that it is something that it may or may not be. As you understand, both things always are in all states of being, and also in non-states of being simultaneously at all times. And it is up to us to, with our minds...
Fate, are you coming?
Steam starts rolling off of Fate's head a little bit.
Things start rolling off
Steam.
physically?
Steam.
Oh, steam.
Steam.
You start off-gassing steam.
as you ramble on.
Is he coming?
I'm not sure. I think he wants me to stay, but I want to go too. Let me see if I can interrupt him. But he's already... I don't want to be rude.
There are about 139 states of matter within our understanding.
Pardon me.
Yes, I see a hand.
May I please just postpone this temporarily, or is there something I can do in the interim while I'm traveling with my friends?
Oh, you desire archival homework?
Yes.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, if you can master this spell, perhaps just the incantation, start with the first line, and then you can deal with the other 193 lines. But start with this first line of incantation. If you can produce a small mote of flame, then perhaps you are applicable for the pre-cognitive introduction of just discussing lesson number
just try it now?
0.1. You, well, I don't believe that you'd be able to do such a thing, but...
What should I need to roll?
Like this old scroll gets produced that's tattered and like torn in a couple pieces. That is about yay long. That appears to roll an Arcana check for me.
Or Arcana?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless any of the rest of you want to roll Arcana too, see if you can recognize this.
So, 18?
18. You have a bunch of, and I don't want to touch on this too much as far as like, because I don't want to take your agency away over like, you've been programmed to do this and this is what you know, but you have been, just like how a computer has a bunch, again, you're not a computer. Well, we're all computers, but like just like how you have some stuff previously installed, like you don't have to learn things from scratch. You have a bunch of
other souls. So,
yeah, well, that too, but it's also like information that during your construction was saying like, this was your purpose. This is the information you need to know it's necessary in order to complete your mission. And therefore you have some like context of what's going on. You've been pre-programmed with like a basic understanding of magic because one of the Zek Tech were created to battle people that were really fucking good with magic. And there were specific Zek Tech that were specifically designed to be able to assimilate magic and like expunge it and exhaust it at other times or bring it back. And there was even certain generals and artificers that you're familiar with that like were jammers of magic. So as far as your understanding, you are able to recognize spells that up to that point that the Razorfang Nation were able to recognize in order for them to kind of like military intel. So they know that's Fireball. They know that that's like Dimension Door or whatever the fuck is doing. Right? Yeah. You could try. I think what you recognize here is like because of the 18 everything, you're able to reference all of your information here, and you're like, oh, that's a cantrip. That is something that's supposed to be. That's a memorized spell. It's a scroll that teaches somebody how to memorize, and the whole point of a cantrip is to take the incantation and whatever components are and fully commit them to memory, so you always know it, and you never need to expend magic. You can just do it forever. Sure. And this is a cantrip of Firebolt. It's pretty much of like trying to create a small Firebolt. This is something that's hard to do because learning something, that's why like people only know a couple cantrips, because committing something that lengthy to memory and being able to do it like whenever you want, as many times as you want, is takes up a good amount of brain space and a lot of practice, which is why people take a lot of time to do this. But you have near perfect recall. Except for the, perhaps dysfunction that may be all the amalgamate of souls that make you probably more
Or maybe
human or
yeah.
person-like, you know.
And who knows? Maybe some of those souls could have like residuals of mages.
Yeah, that's also, you know, the possibility. It's also hard to discern what it is you're pulling from, like your pre-docketed information, like your previous briefs and dockets, and what you're pulling from like the nature of like the souls that you have. It's
Like
really hard to discern
Ghost
between
in
the
the
two.
Machine style.
Exactly, very Ghost in the Machine style, like super that. So you recognize this as Fireball. You could try with an 18 Arcana. You tell me what it is you do, and I'll tell you how much you succeed.
Well, with an 18 Arcana, I just try to like, I'm like, how are you? No. I just try to like hold my hands together.
Okay, cool.
And see if I can get like this.
You want to full like DBZ, try to harness the key into one
Yeah.
space and everything,
Yeah,
and put
pretty
all
much.
into one spot? Sure. I think you do that, and if you guys haven't already just like pieced the fuck out, because I think you guys say, "Hey, are you coming?" And you're like, "I would." What, like,
Yeah, I think we would have gotten decently far down.
You're like in the doorway, but holding the
and
door
we're
type of
like,
thing?
Wait, shit, he's not here.
Okay.
I'm just like-
the question is like, can you still see him? Is my question.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. You see, and you are like kind of only subconsciously aware that the parts of your plates and your constituent like matter that is ironwood that is meant to, you know, allow energy to travel through your body and allow your core to move the energy, starts to have like an ambient, not a glow, but type of flowing incandescence that is similar to how your gun glows when it's charging up. As you start to channel the energy into it, you do see something coalesce as very similar to how heat off of like hot asphalt distorts vision, and you can see like the waves off of like the top of a grill in summer. You see the light beginning to bend and be distorted as though it's being hit by heat and gravity within your grasps, and you don't have a sense of feeling, but you have sensors that pretty much give you a sense of feeling, and you can sense the heat. It doesn't like hurt as much because you're what you are, but you can still, you're ironwood, you can still burn, mostly, and you can feel like the feedback of this heat. You get the sense that you're having trouble actually manifesting the flame out of nothing, but it's so hot. It's Fahrenheit 451 in your hands right now. Like, so if there was something to actually ignite, it would ignite. But to create the moat itself this is a very, very difficult thing to do in like a minute. Like to learn a cantrip in a minute, cantrips
what
take
does he say when
years.
he sees me do this?
I mean, I think there's a moment where he's fascinated. He's like, "Oh," and then he snaps out of it, and one book comes flying and just hits you in the temple really fucking hard to mess up your focus. He's like, "No fire in the library."
Here, try to cast this
But
fire
you told
spell.
me to try it.
I wasn't expecting you to actually come anywhere near to a modicum of success.
Well, I mean, you're the one mentoring me.
Wait a minute. Perhaps just practice yourself then. Maybe you come back in a place that is safer.
We'll take him out of this place and he can practice outside.
Well, fine. Why don't you give me the second scroll just to make sure, in case I get through the first scroll quicker?
Roll a persuasion check.
Natural 20.
Shut the fuck up. I was like, that's the only way I was going to give it to you. How dare you? What's the total on that then?
So that's just natural 20, but
Yeah.
the persuasion is a +0 anyway.
So it's just a straight natural 20, dirty 20. Amazing. He's like,
Very persuasive.
recently my eyes have been opened that perhaps proteges and prodigies exist. Maybe it has a token of my own skill at being an educational mentor, are able to make even
It's
an
me.
lifeless
You're not skilled.
construct is able to become a prodigy with my help. Very well, very well.
Well, you can be proud because you're mentoring.
Yes, well, pride is it's a complicated thing. It can lead for regardless. Yes, I shall be providing you with what type of spellcraft were you looking to delve into?
You had 192 of them.
Well, yes, but many of them are quite. Do you have a school of magic that you would prefer? As I pull up all of my spells.
Wizarding.
Offensive, defensive.
Illusion, divination, evocation, transmutation, enchantment.
What was the first one?
There's
again?
another school, isn't there?
What was the first one?
Abjuration, illusion, divination, conjuration, evocation, transmutation,
But it's really
I think
like,
you're still
and
missing one.
necromancy.
There it is.
like what do you want to do with it? Like, what kind of spell you want?
Like more offensive type stuff.
You want evocation.
You're looking for evocation, evoking destructive forces. Yes? Yeah. Well, that is one of the spells. That is that firebolt that you have. But you're looking for even more. You concern me. As a prodigy and mentor, you're looking for destructive things. But I believe that I am such a good mentor that I have instilled a good amount of empathy and moral morale
Yes,
within
you did.
Good, good.
And I
I'm
just
gonna
kind of
give
wink at the
you-
guys.
Based on his armaments, I think offensive is what he's geared toward naturally. But
So I'm gonna give you something.
And I'm
Here we
thinking
go.
like, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, fireball, please be fireball.
you're not getting fireball yet, my friend.
We're going to give you something cool. He starts to rifle through a bunch of stuff. You see a bunch of books. You're
giving him a rifle?
Moves around the spire. He's a bit as he's like looking through his stuff. As he leaves and goes up the spire further and tries to look through things. What are you guys doing while you're waiting?
I'm just like, wait guys, hold on. Holding up my finger. Holding up my finger.
Probably just going over the map. Just
Trying to
Cool.
plan out.
Do you have any questions about the map? Well,
route finding.
route.
No, I saw there was a brothel on there. That's route finding.
Sounds fun.
No, we shall not be venturing into such places.
I mean, that's not my type of thing, but
Here we go. I think this makes sense. Yeah.
Do you have a place on here called Sizzle
Do I?
with the star as the eye dot? And two Z's. Sizzl.
Sizzle? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's right
I'm looking
here.
at it right now.
you gotta.
Where does it say?
First ring in the merchant quarter, like second section from the top road.
It's the hot spot. You gotta go.
I think that was shorthand for something.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
Sizzle now.
God. God, this is so long ago. I think
Yeah, we either need a
I know,
jeweler
okay, yeah.
or
Uh,
a metal worker.
I think it was like sizzling something, and it was like for having to do with monster parts, and have you turn in some
Bloated
monster
blower?
parts that they can. Yeah,
Is it not a steakhouse?
the bloated blower. yeah.
Sizzler?
Sizzler.
It's someone who cooks.
So sizzle my whizzle.
If you like
Monster
use survival
steaks.
checks to harvest monster parts, they will like make you meals out of monster parts that will like kind of like how they would make potions out of magical things, but they make you meals very like Breath of the Wild style, and they give you benefits if you want to eat them and heal you and
the
stuff like
druid
that.
called Snoop Log.
It's actually like weirdo. But Snoop Log. Jeez.
His brother.
So
Snoop Lion.
you are given a spell. This is by an old magi witch friend of mine. Well, acquaintance. Escapade, more like. That's a conquest. Anyway,
Ew.
this is her, what she called it, a storm shot. A small of power and storms and lightning. It is, and
Dirty old man.
it allows you to channel primal energy of storms into your hand and create a blast of these colliding electrons. And so basically, I will send it to you, but basically, it is an evocation cantrip that costs 1 action. It's a range of 90 feet. Components vocal somatic. It's instantaneous, and you pretty much shoot a bolt of lightning. You make a ranged spell attack, and you shoot a bolt of lightning, and if it hits, it takes 1d8 lightning damage. And if they're wearing armor or carrying a weapon made of metal, it instead takes 1d10 points of lightning damage. It increases its damage die just like cantrips do as you level up from 1 of the die to 2d8 or 2d10 at 5th level, and 3d8 or 3d10 at 11th level, and then 17th, 4d8, and 4d10.
Okay, and you'll just send me them.
Yeah, and I will send this to you as soon as my thing lets me do it. Yes. This is perhaps be careful with this one, as you are made of also metal. I wouldn't want you to electrocute yourself. You're learning for the first time.
So how would I cast this? Because I am made of metal.
Well,
Figure it
I
out.
believe some type of discharge of whatever arcanum is held within your own capacitors.
So if I cast this won't electrocute me?
There's one way to find out.
Oh, let's try it now.
Perhaps not. Lightning
It's no
is
fire.
known to, yes, ignite fires, and the rule is no fires in the library. So,
Well, thank you.
of course, will that be all? Do come back if you have any questions.
So once I've
But we have
mastered-
plenty of time, 300 or so years, well, 299 years,
Oh, I have a
10 months.
millennium.
What?
I have a millennium.
Oh, yes, well, you have plenty of time, I'm
So
sure.
we'll see each other.
Yeah, it's a long type of curriculum, I'm sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think my friends are wanting to go, though.
Oh, well, please, by all means.
But thank you for your hospitality.
It is my distinct pleasure, your constructed constituent.
Yep. Farewell.
All right, goodbye. Just stares at you.
All right, guys.
Forgets that the illusion is active as it's just standing there, because he's like not there, he's everywhere.
He just leaves the face hanging.
He just leaves
as,
the
like,
face
his
hanging,
mind
yeah.
actually went somewhere else.
Exactly. So, where are you guys headed? You will have to get through the archives before you can leave, and then there's a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, why don't you tell me where your intentions are, and I will.
Probably a
merchant
jewel-
quarter?
Yeah, merchant quarter. Jewelry shop. Probably a metal forge.
Someone who would buy gold.
Yeah, really sorry that took so long, guys. I mean, he was just kind of rambling on and on.
Yeah.
I take it that's a
wizards kinda do
regular
that.
Mm.
occurrence.
Yeah, he's kind of long-winded, but he did give me a cool spell, so...
Nice.
I mean, there is a trade-off there. So where to next?
We haven't exactly been in civilization
Oh, well, I mean,
before.
you can call that floating city civilization, but we spent all of 16 hours there.
I ain't never really been in a city. So you guys are gonna have to.
I prefer the countryside myself, but we can find our way around.
We could do both. We can go through part of the city and then mosey our way out if we need.
Yeah, we'll need to stock up on provisions, and we've got a couple of things that we need to get done before we leave for
I don't think
more
there's
wilder
a lot
places.
of people in the city, though, is there? I think he mentioned that they were just starting to come back, maybe? I don't know if they're actually opening up shops, though.
I was here about 2 years ago, and it's a big city. A lot of people
okay.
here.
It is technically the largest city on the continent.
Some did leave because of the heaving,
The pulsing.
pulsing.
So
But that was a
just to
long
recap,
time
the
ago.
pulsing happened. It kind of like reversed gravity and did a couple other
Yeah.
weird things because it killed quite a bit of people, and then there was the like the expelling of anybody that was not human, and a lot of people set up shanty towns outside of the walls because where the fuck else would they go?
Right.
There's not, and a lot of people then went down to the man-torn forest to the south and tried to set up shop. But then that only lasted about a shorter time in relatively.
Once Lady
before
Rhea
people went
took
back in.
over, she let
If
everybody
you remember,
back.
Eleazar was there when people were getting like orphans were getting torn out of the fucking shit happened. He killed a couple people.
Well, he
and-
didn't really tell us any of that.
He did. We had talked about it. But yeah. So there are a lot of people here. There are probably a good amount of empty homes, but that doesn't mean that there's like the city is probably at maybe 3/5 capacity, but that doesn't mean that there's like not over 1 million people here. There's a lot of fucking people here, or more. It is an 8-mile diameter city. It is fucking huge. It's probably multiple millions.
Mr. Grandmaster, you had mentioned a Milodonith.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Do you know where in town
thought
we
you
might
had
find your friend Milodonith?
Well, last time I knew where they were in town here somewhere, but that was before I was scrambled, so who knows?
Do you know what they would have called their shop?
Shop?
Or, I mean, where do we go to look for them?
I don't know.
That's
Apparently
very
they've been out of the loop for quite a while. I could attempt to scry on said individual to find out, but that is quite a breach of privacy for an old friend. They were a very talented alchemist.
Say no more. We'll find them.
His name was like Grandmaster.
My memory fails me. I'm not
Uthier
quite sure.
Ethradian.
Utier. My memory, I can't quite remember, but it seemed like they were on the verge of a breakthrough the last time it escapes me. Problems of old pages and mothballs, perhaps.
Looking for one alchemist in a town of 1 million people? That
Well,
should
probably
be
the
too odd.
probably the best alchemist.
If they're even still here, or alive. Who knows how long? Apparently, it's been quite a long time since I was conscious.
Well, I have some ingredients to swap for potions at an alchemist shop, so it's one of the places on our list. Okay, cool. Let's make our way out of the city.
All right. So, are you just intending to head? Are you trying to head south or north out of here?
East?
Yeah,
South or east?
the
Gets us to the merchant
merchant
quarter?
So there is only a gate
To the east.
to the north and the south out of like the inner area where the Midnight Athenaeum is. Because there's like towers there, but there isn't there's no functional gate there
In
anymore.
south.
Yeah. There's a river that runs through the very center of Strita for irrigation purposes, and the but it goes under the wall before it hits the inner wall of the Midnight Athenaeum would be, and then it resurfaces back at the edge, which is why there's only a gate at the north and south, because a lot of the stuff follows the river. The others have a surrounding thing. You can look across the. Do you want to remain in the Athenaeum at any time for any extended time and do research here, or do you want to just bug out?
No, we're going like out into the city.
You want to go out. Okay. It's a walk. It's going to take a bit because the Athenaeum is very, very, very fucking big, and it is. Queen says just make sure you just go straight and don't deviate, or you'll get lost very, very quickly. Good luck. And so you just head straight south and go through stacks and stacks.
Do
and
you
stacks and
know
stacks and stacks.
anything about what's out in town?
Oh yes, I've been about.
You run across this Milladonna?
No, I don't know of a Melodonna. I don't think.
Do you know of any alchemist shops we could stop by?
Oh yes, there's probably. Liquidities. Liquid lividities is a good potion and alchemist shop, as far as I know, and there is numerous others. Whatever it is, you'll be able to find.
It's a place to start.
Yes, of course.
Who's gonna buy gold?
Who's going to buy gold?
Yeah.
I mean, good gold is what you buy things with.
No, I mean we got like big hunks of it. We need coins.
Oh, you want to mint your own coin? You want to create counterfeit?
No.
We
Like, is there
have
somebody that buys?
bullion.
Well, I mean, if you're creating your own coin that it doesn't have the stamp of,
Right.
so then it's counterfeit.
I'm looking to sell somebody a big hunk of gold in exchange for,
You're looking for a
Coins.
fence.
or like
It's not stolen.
a financial place.
No, it's not stolen. You could always trade it into the treasury
Yes.
and make it'll take quite a hefty fee. Or you could try to exchange it at Cochrane's Trust, the bank, one of their headquarters here. They're the richest family in the world. They might be able to accept your raw gold for some type of collateral investment or something.
Okay. We'll give it a look.
You're more than welcome to try to find a perhaps unscrupulous blacksmith or somebody else who works with the forge to try to create coins that are not of.
I don't know that anybody's going to give us
no,
a
thank
better
you.
deal than
You're probably,
like an official
if you are
place.
trying to find the Vleeter, the Noxeter is probably the people who would have things like that. If you wanted to try to, I don't know, be surreptitious about.
We discussed
We'll be above board with this.
Devlita's probably not in the city. If we were going to find any trail of him, we were going to start at the temple.
There
I
were
think.
reports about a month or maybe more ago, I'm not sure, anywhere between like a couple of weeks to a couple of months ago, about him being in the city as
But that was
a host
before-
for some type of steam bath place.
Before the attack on the temple.
Technically, yes, I believe so. Not quite sure. I wasn't here for that, but there definitely is a tale that Lady Rhea herself had a whole battalion that went there, and they got out of Dodge before they get there. So, then again, this is a very, very large city with many ratways, so there is a lot of corners and alcoves to hide in,
I like this.
and the sewers are extremely expansive.
Expensive?
Expansive.
Expensive?
Expansive?
Expansive. Why are you making fun of me?
Is it like gold plated or? I don't understand. We just have a bucket. Yeah, I mean, we put like a seat over it, but I mean, I guess compared to that, yeah, anything's probably expensive.
I have a friend named Darius Darnov who knows the sewers quite well and has helped smuggle a few people in here that needed to be not known that they were here. I could reach out to them for you if you wish to look for more of the underground community. I can't promise anything, but if they are available, I'll have them make contact with you. they'll find you. You will not find them. I'll let them know what you look like. If you want that.
I mean, I guess.
I mean,
Sounds like another lead.
in my opinion, like somebody that's not on the up and up is going to take a bigger cut out of our profits. Because then they gotta
Oh yeah, let's not
turn
counterfeit.
things
Let's
over.
not make counterfeit coins.
I mean, they may
Actually,
have
it's the
valuable
other-
information. that
Well,
we
it's
can-
actually the other way around because all the fees that go with things like Tokren's Trust, they take a certain percentage, and then they have to, because everybody who has to get paid to turn that into stuff is a hefty percentage of that is taken out of whatever raw material you give, unless you go directly to the source of one of the mints in the Razorfang, and that's probably, if you're going the legal route, the cheapest way to get the largest percentage out of it, because you can deal directly with the mint rather than have to deal with shipping costs, paying other people, the weight of whatever it is, the insurance of being able to. It's a whole thing. Darius has taught me a lot about it, and when I was running the meadery, it was the amount was expensive, but the people who are, again, a little bit perhaps not on the up and up, as you say.
You cut out all the middlemen. They take a less
That's
charge.
true,
They get
yes.
more. Yeah.
I'm also
Also-
going to Razorfang.
There are just raw hunks of gold could be valuable as just what they are, because it would be hard to trace such a thing, and just like some thieves deal in paintings and art because it makes it difficult to trace and payments won't be recorded, would be easy for that hunk of gold, as you say, maybe in circulation in the underground, and
it's-
nobody will know who
It's
it
not
came
a.
from.
It's not a hunk. It would need to be altered from its current state. We'll go look up the treasury or the money changing houses.
What about Runefang that they were saying just go to the source?
We're in the city, and I'd kind of like to spend this money before we leave.
The Razorfang
Yeah.
agreement is the whole nation that embodies the Razorfang mountain range, which is a couple hundred miles away.
Oh, okay.
You
we're
can get
going
there.
we're going to get there eventually, but
Yeah,
I'd,
it's where his temple
we
is.
need to turn this gold into provisions.
We are here. The dwarves and gnomes that live beneath the
Are
mountain
right there.
range
Yeah.
are the Razorfang.
Minheim is
Silverback's probably the closest.
so
I'm
there's
just
two.
like, I'm ready for a trip. Let's go.
I did send you this spell. By the
Yep.
way. There are two headquarters of Tokren's Trust, which is like the biggest bank. It has several branches in all the major cities. The actual home headquarters, the first one, is in Minheim, where the vault, the golden vault, is, where like a large portion of the actual physical wealth of the nation, because they are the richest nation, is held. And the second, like, it's kind of like a co-headquarters. The second is largest, which is technically just as big and holds just as money, is in Strita.
Yeah, let's go there. And then shopping.
Lots of bureaucracy, lots of taxes, lots of fees, but probably one of the most secure places in the world.
I look at my pouch and I see that I'm broke.
I've got lint and a piece of string and a used piece of floss. So,
Moth flies out.
yeah,
Did you say used floss?
yeah.
It's thread. You can use it for something.
So, I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, let's go there.
I can. Do you want me to tell Darius you're looking for it?
I mean, he may have answers for us.
But yeah, we don't need him to fence our non-stolen gold.
All right.
We're just gonna head to the bank.
I guess while they're doing that, I'm gonna be like practicing this fireball.
I'll just give them a heads up that if they see you, to say hi or something.
Yeah.
Sure. Always
mean-
good to make contacts.
You got it.
He may have some helpful information.
Do you have any other questions of wanting to learn how to get about the city? Any other politics you want to know about?
Not immediately, but we know where to find you.
I'm almost always here. If I'm not, I'm somewhere else.
It's usually how it works. Yeah.
Right. Okay, bye.
Walk straight. Don't deviate.
Cool. Walk straight, don't deviate.
Find the door.
Since they're doing that, I'm just gonna be like traveling behind them, but I'm gonna be like
Autopilot.
when they're when they're doing their thing. In the meantime, whenever you wanna like make it happen, I'm just gonna be practicing this fireball thing.
Yeah, you can just keep practicing. There's no rolls required. You're just gonna keep
His
doing the
lower body
thing.
is just
This is
auto
gonna be a
walking. His upper
protracted
body's
thing.
Yeah.
Like this is the flavor of like if you wanted to, I don't know, multi-class or take a type of feat in order to learn something like that. This is how you would have been. This is how it would manifest. Because at the moment, I don't believe you have access to spellcraft at all. So if you wanted to start to delve into those types of things, what that means. I don't know, toying with Eldritch Knight and changing some subclass stuff, or grabbing a feat that might make you like an adept or some apprentice stuff, or wanting to develop some homebrew stuff with me. You can talk to me outside and we can figure some stuff out. But at the moment, like learning, especially like wizardly spellcraft from scratch, is a intense and protracted endeavor.
You gotta go to school for like years.
You have a leg up because your recall is near perfect, and you learn things pretty fast. But it's not going to turn years and years of practice into a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Great. So you guys continue to head south. Eventually, you find yourself in like a reception area where you see two old, bearded, like white and gray bearded, very like throat of the world, Hrothgar style Skyrim, like, we are the old men that see the mountain. Just old like human dudes they don't look blind. They're just like so old that their eyes have kind of started to get just a tad milky. They're not blind. They seem to be able to see, and one of them is like in a chair that is in one of these like circular desks where that doesn't like you have to like open a piece to get in, open a part of the counter to get in, and then in a chair with a bunch of like books around and open pads and ledgers, and they're just, or the other one is wheeling around a tiny little book trolley, like squeaky, 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 ever so slow as molasses, and picking up, trying to decide whether it be the trifocal or the bifocal that they're looking through as they're looking at the spine of the book, trying to find and then referencing the shelf to see if it's in the right book. And it's a little bit of more open area, and you see a very large double door that's on the other side of that appears to be going out to the exterior. This is like the desk, the front desk.
Tip of the cap. Keep walking.
Yeah.
The awake one.
As you see the other one look up, like, Bernard!
Good day. Have a good day.
Bernard, we have guests. Bernard.
Nope, we're leaving.
Wrong
Wrong way.
Signed in.
Queenie said this was the south door, yeah?
Yes.
Good day.
All right. Okay.
Happy cataloging.
Your names, and as you're like leaving the door, they're like, and what is your birthday? Oh, they left. And you just, the doors close, and you leave these old men to shuffle about. You open the doors, and you see you are now in a wide open kind of like fields of grain type thing. We're talking
Just keep moving, pretend
very
like you will.
Elysium
Never ask too many
fields,
questions.
high grass and wheat. You do see spots where the high grass, for those of you that are tall enough,
Persuasion.
can see over some of the
This was
high
the
grass and
Athenaeum,
wheat
so
where
we're
there are
coming out
splotches
looking
where
south
it does
now.
not grow, and the tall ones
Into
can
this
see
area.
that these appear to have these almost like large divots or like amphitheaters of obsidian within them, and where these like circles are like huge just splotches that appear to have been there for a very, very long time, and they're still there and nothing grows there, and they're still glassy and shiny. And that's like all that's here for like a good mile or two, which it just goes on, and there's nothing else here. It's just grass. It's like this antechamber of the Midnight Athenaeum that just gave it a wide berth from the rest of the city. You then eventually reach, as you just keep going straight, the pathway here is seems to be, at least in the past, well trodden. There isn't really foliage that grows here, but it doesn't look like it's used frequently nowadays. It is quite wide, though. You eventually find your way to the south gate. You do notice that there appear to be some in red, like leathers, like armored
To the
leathers.
inner wall.
Yeah, the inside of the inner.
So between
wall.
Old Town and Willow Grove.
No, there's another wall there that's just not. It's just not completely
Oh.
circled open. So it's like the inner
Before
wall.
we get there.
Yeah, this is just the wall to the. And I think there's like another where the river dips down is where there's another like smaller, just kind of like gate wall. There's
Where
not
the
a whole
river
lot. different.
reemerges
So
from beneath
the
the
grove
avenue.
is off to our right. Isn't it?
Yes, if you flip the map upside down, is where it's how you'd be looking at it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, right.
there is there's about like a 30-foot wall that's here that appears to be made out of cobblestone and mortar. So probably a very, very old wall that's very kind of monolithic, old, ancient, like Irish barrow and that type of feel. Stonehenge type of feel. That's something that's been here for a very, very, very long time. Perhaps the inner of this used to be an old town, but it's long since been abandoned and was built then more on the outside. You do see a few people in like red, kind of crimson colored armor, whether that be like some armor leathers and straps and buckles. They're not facing your way. They appear to be up on top of the gatehouse, facing the other way, pacing back and forth. They don't seem to notice you at all. They aren't giving any attention to this side of the wall.
So like guards.
Yeah, like town. They appear to be town guards, but they consistently all seem to be wearing like some type of shades of gray or crimson, with not necessarily plumage, but some type of either fabric or some type of feather adornment that may look like it marks their station, that kind of hangs down from their helmet. So yeah, that's what you see.
Is there like a man-sized door? Or do you got to open like the whole gate to get out? Or is it open?
The gate is closed.
Can I just push it open?
It is a like 20-foot tall double door. You can attempt to push it. You want to try to push it? You push at it. It feels like it's barred from the other side.
There isn't like a.
From the other side?
You're in the interior.
There's not like a man-sized door on the corner.
Like trying to
that
get
we can, like-
out?
There does look to be like slots where like a bar would go on this side, but the bar is not nowhere to be found. But it just doesn't. You push on it, it doesn't seem to open from this side.
I'm like, how do we get out?
You say that, and you hear like, did you hear that? Oh, what
Yeah, down here, guys.
Excuse me, gents.
Hey, down here.
the hell are you doing on the inside?
Visit it in the afternoon.
How did you get here? I don't remember letting you in. Did you go from the north side?
Hey,
We were visiting the
I'll
Grand
be
Maester.
asking the questions.
The Grand Maester?
What?
The librarian.
We just talked
Oh,
to
you-
Utier.
Oh,
He's my mentor.
Right,
so
right.
let me out.
right. I remember
Come on.
Ray saying something about it. But what? But how'd you get in?
Come on, snap to it. It's none of your business.
None of my business. No, it literally is my business
literally
to
the
make sure
guard
I
on the
know who
wall.
goes in inside there. Don't try to confuse me.
Hey, he's my mentor. Don't worry about it.
He's your mentor.
Yes.
There's a caretaker in there named Queenie.
All right, I don't know.
She
anything
got
about
us
it.
in yesterday.
Okay.
We know everybody on the inside. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't be alarmed. Just let us out.
You want?
Come on.
I guess.
Snap to it, chap.
Well, right. I mean, so they can't be in the city port if they came from the outside. Right. Okay. State your business in the city of
Ouch.
Strita. Right. But what's your business?
Our business is to get out.
We need
get
to
out.
Mercantile
stop by
endeavors.
a couple of the stores,
All right.
and then we'll be
Do
on
you
our
have
way.
any goods to declare?
We're already in the city.
No,
Doesn't that normally happen at the
not re-
gates?
You're kind
I
of
told
doing
you
this in
they're already
reverse
the
order at
city.
this
No,
point.
it doesn't matter. I mean, they had to get into. They got like. What if somebody came in from the inside? Do you have any merchandise to declare?
No. Can we get out now?
With 3 travelers, with no cart or way of carrying merchandise.
Well, I've never seen one like you before. And it's been a while since I saw one like you. Yeah, I guess. I mean, is there a rule against that? I don't think so. I guess. I just don't want the captain to get mad at us. You promise you're good?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right as rain.
Yep.
Roll a persuasion check to see how next.
Oh,
I didn't do so good on that one.
that was close.
I got an 11.
19.
21.
21.
Okay.
Perfect. So what do you say? Just
I
let us out.
I let them go.
Yeah.
It's
What do you
like,
guys say to try to persuade them?
We're here to stimulate the local economy.
Oh, it sounds good to me.
Just passing through your fine city. Just enjoying the sights.
It is rather fine, isn't it? It's quite fine.
Yeah,
Quite
I
fine.
just point out.
Biggest city in the.
Real estate prices are at an all-time low if you're looking to get property.
Hey, that could be a big draw.
They're all a bit of a fixer-upper, but, you know.
I mean, it might
Is there any jobs to be
might
had?
useful to have a.
There's quite a lot of jobs, actually.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, quite a lot of jobs. And if you're looking to get a job like yours truly, some of the best jobs in the city, you can head over to the Crimson Academy.
Oh, yeah. How much they pay you?
Oh, I'll get a stipend of 3 gold a week.
Is that a lot?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it pays the bills, pays for rent, you know, feeds the little chitlins, and the chickens, and their chickens.
Did we miss something? Do we need like some sort of identification?
Oh, usually the ones that coming through, we usually get notification before someone is supposed to get to Midnight Athenaeum, given all the things that normally it wasn't really a big deal. Nobody really touched it anymore. But Lady Rhea has been a little bit more understanding of like there's a lot of power and
How do we
stuff
make
and-
sure we don't have to be questioned again by some other guards?
I don't know. Find somebody that will let us know you're coming.
Why don't you spread the word?
I mean, like somebody
My name's Fade, by the
in
way.
a higher somebody in a higher station than I am. Hello, Fade.
Hello, chap.
Cool. Well, if you just open one
You
of these
can
doors, we'll
also
be on our way.
if you want to talk to the captain or if you want to issue a formal request into Lady Rhea and her treasury and logistics department, she will be happy to. Is that what it says on the paper? Logistics department will be happy to get to your request at the earliest convenience of said staff.
Are we going to be here that long?
Probably not.
Okay. Never mind.
I think most of our business here at the Athenaeum's completed, so
All right.
We just need out.
Honestly, this door never opens.
it doesn't.
Not really.
You put us all through that just to tell us that it opens.
No, I mean it physically opens, but I mean I just
You don't get too much traffic here.
nah.
Pretty easy post.
That's pretty good job. Sweet gig. 3
So how
gold
do
a
I
week.
open this
Just
door?
sit on my ass and talk about how many teeth I got from chewing the meatloaf last week.
Consider us your excitement for the week.
That was rather exciting.
So the door doesn't open, or the door
Oh,
can't
it does.
open?
Get the door open. Like, all right. And smacks him on the head and the helmet. Tung, tung, tung. Smalls over as
Thank God. Thank the gods.
So finally swings open, and you can hear now the sound that was only being carried over the wall hits you as there's the distant sounds of like bring, ding, bang, ding, of just commerce, things that are happening, and voices and footsteps and hoofs clattering and wheels creaking and like, Gryer, get your news here. As you just start to hear the sounds of urban civilization. And the view is gorgeous because as the doors swing open, you see as the river comes out into the canal that is in the middle of one of the main thoroughfares that heads south through, and it all splits off into smaller roads. And the water is gorgeously crystal clear. You see there's some people just reach down with a very, very long ladle that are like there every once in a while. Some wood, some metal that just reach down and have like a bucket, and they kind of come up and just drinking from the river and then putting it back down into the river. And the water is extremely clear. It looks like really, really, really clean. and it's just so the irrigation and the sewage system that is here apparently has been here for a very long time, and does a really really good job.
Look
There's
at
something
how
about
clean that water
communal.
is. I mean, it sounds like their expensive.
Montezuma's.
Sounds like their expensive sewer paid off. This is really clear water.
It does look. I mean, Bast is going to feel how Bast is going to feel, but I mean, it looks like good water. Yeah.
It's been polluted by the landers. I'm not gonna lie.
It's pretty racist.
At least it looks good. It does. It also doesn't. You're very sensitive to like the smell that
Right.
stagnant water would have or anything like that. It doesn't have any of that smell. The smell in the air of it like cascading down from some of the. And you do see like every block or so, it does have like a purposeful like step or obstacle there that causes it to self aerate and cascade, so it continues to put
Weird.
oxygen into the water. Yeah, a weird.
Cool. Well, I guess on our way south, the first place is Liquid
luck.
Lividities.
Have you been here before?
Yeah, I passed through.
There's no one down at ground level with us.
No,
right?
we're up here. Bye.
Yeah.
Hello. Well, you need to go?
Yeah. We got a map. I think we're all right. Thank you, sir.
Cool. Good luck.
Have a good day.
Don't fall in. Don't want to fish out all the kids like I did have to do last week.
I mean, I can swim pretty good myself.
Well, that's what they all say.
Thanks for the warning.
I don't need to swim.
Just prefer, like, skinny dipping hours are only from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay, super.
Is that 7 at night to 9 in the morning?
7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Oh, only 2 hours?
Well, yeah.
It's like,
Keep your vest on.
I mean, you
not-
can
not
bathe
overnight?
yourself. The river splits off. I mean, there's a bunch of irrigation systems. We have several pumps if you want to wash yourself in basins and all those other types of things. But
You've been very helpful, sir.
yeah, you can float down the river if you want to head down. Some people commute that way. If you live up north and you go down south,
Get a little paddleboard.
I think we'll stay dry for
there's
now.
a little nice cave that goes to about a mile or two when you're under the midnight Athenaeum. That's a little spooky, but some people like it.
Filthy.
Cool.
Anyway,
Let's go.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you for talking.
Bye.
You're the highlight of my week.
yep.
So, if the map's accurate,
Close the door.
is there another gate between the inner and outer?
There is.
Okay.
So the inner city is a little bit more affluent than the outer city.
Okay.
It looks like this city was expanded as it got bigger from the inside to the outside. There probably was a more non-permanent village or community that lived that expanded so much within like the Midnight Athenaeum's wall to the point where it just didn't make sense to be doing that, and rather than building upon it and letting it get like decrepit and old and ruined, they probably demolished it and built new stuff and did the outside, but kept it as it was, probably for just structural reasons and stuff like that. I mean, who knows? Who knows why?
Okay.
But yeah, so the Willow Grove is off to your right, and the old town, that's probably that looks like it's built a while ago and it's just been updated.
What's
It's
left
very like a
standing?
New York type of feel as far as like something that was built a while ago that people just keep patching, you know?
Except when there's big problems that happen. That's the thing that goes first.
Exactly.
Except for the like really, really special buildings.
So that's the kind of vibe that you're getting there too. Is like there's probably been a bunch of demolition and rebuilding and like just patching and patching and patching and patching and patching here within the old town. But there is a lot of caricature and some of historical stuff here as well. There's definitely as you just kind of like walk by, you can see like some empty lots of things that were just demolished and like are using for new spots. But yeah, it definitely feels like cramped old stuff where it would cost more money to take it down and build it from scratch than it would to just put a Band-Aid on it and let it work for a year. That's very, very New York, very grungy type of feel.
I think we're still just heading for the outer section.
But most of I have to say, there's a big disparate between the grungy spaces that are just being patched and the historical spaces that are being kept up immaculately and are gorgeous. And some of the more affluent, as you can see, are the ones that like own these historical spaces and like do new lots. So it's either like brand spanking new or like old and patched. It's a mixture of the two.
Okay. I think we're skipping this still.
Yeah, you can continue to go through. The Willow Grove is gorgeous off to your right. You see it's just massive, like several like square miles of just gardens and botanics and hedges and this huge willow that you can see that just surmounts and just looks over the entirety of all of it. It blocks a good portion of light but still lets it filter through. It has the actual limbs of the willow stretch out so much that they lilt and fall into completely other like quarters of the willow grove, like other spots of the willow grove, meaning that you could, like, if you wanted to climb up the vines and the branches of the willow tree, you could get to it in like probably a whole square mile. You could get to it. It's fucking huge. This thing is like not as tall as the outer wall, but it's like about like 70 feet tall, and it's just reaches out and just the boughs just stretch so much and just kind of like go out more than just straight down.
You're trying to get to a merchant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it is maps accurate. There's a alchemist right here outside of the next gate.
And the general goods is
And then
next to it.
general goods here.
And
goods
then-
right
And you
there.
see people
But
like
then the
dressed in
top
nice.
nice
there,
place
yeah.
is up here. So
You see people like dressed in really nice attire
we
that are
want to
going
be
for like a
getting
walk with a
here.
parasol in the gardens and stuff like that.
unless there's someone you need to stop.
Nope. Let's book it there.
Yeah.
You do get some odd looks, Bass, because you're not wearing a shirt. By a lot of people that are just like, oh dear, my goodness.
I mean, I've got skin tight leather vest kind of thing.
Yes, great heavens. Look, oh, free show. I'll see you later.
That's creepy.
Someone passes you with a parasol and like one of those big butt dresses. Or whatever that's fucking... I can't remember what it's called. Lobster?
Bourgeoisie.
Was it? Lobster tail.
I mean, I haven't been dating for a long time, but that was kind of creepy.
You have never dated.
I was gonna
You're
say-
2 days old.
You just got put together.
Back in my day.
Back in my day.
Yesterday.
When I was but a cog. Yeah, there appear to be. I think the biggest thing you're noticing here is that there's a good population of humans, but it is very smattered too. You even see some like wealthy Ibcast. There looks to be a half-orc and Ibcast family dressed in like a off-center top hat with a what is it called? What is it? Bundelier? What is it fucking called? With the flower on the wrist and the
Boutonniere.
boutonniere, like a boutonniere and nice tall leather boots and like a nice three-piece suit. And is walking. We're like, yes, we'll tiny little half glasses. We'll make sure that we get one for the home garden as well. Yes, I do love a good purple iris.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean-
look, alchemist.
I'm like, I don't want to speak for Osfer, but like, I'm still on like, we've been in hostile environments for like 2 weeks straight. Like my head's kind of on a swivel and I'm not really paying attention
Sure.
to the people that don't look like threats.
Yeah, I think it's just it's a long walk.
Right,
I mean,
yep.
the city is so big that this is a long walk.
I'm seeing
and
these
you're seeing the
details,
city for the first time.
But
Are you guys sticking to the main thoroughfare where the canal is?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Just
we're
do a
pretty
straight
much on
shot.
a mission at this point.
You got it. You start to like. I think you just do that whole thing where you just clock things that are nearby you and just note them, just so you know what your surroundings are. But
Yeah.
you're moving with a purpose.
unless
You're
there's,
on
like,
New
some-
York walking pace.
Yep.
Yeah, unless there's something that stands out as a threat or like menacing or like some type of murderous intent. Like,
Sure. I think for you, most of you, this is probably the first time that you've seen as much diversity, I think, and just like all
I've
these
been here
things.
before.
You have been here before, just not for long stints of time. But yeah, it's just because this is a urban center. Like Bass has never seen anything like this. You have images and memories of places of Strata, but what it was used to be called, and of Thulmore Bed and stuff like that. So this isn't a surprise to you, but this is your first time doing it, and having the sky above you is a little bit of a new thing. because you mostly did a lot of stuff. You only spent time on the underground. But Bast, this is wild.
First time in a big city.
Yeah, it's
But I'm also
huge.
expecting somebody to jump out and stab me.
Yeah, this is very,
So-
very culture shock. I think there is a moment where, as you approach the
I'm trying to ignore it.
the inner wall,
Yeah.
the gate to the inner wall, there is like a couple of kids that kind of run out of one of the alleys and kind of like startle you as you like grip your trident real fast. And, like, and they just like one
don't-
just goes.
I don't think
"Catch
we've
me!"
ever been in a city where like it was a peaceful thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you've been into like the what do you want to buy, sundial kind of stuff parts of the city.
We've always been attacked in every city that we've been
It
to.
looks like they're playing keep away or chase, and one of the kids just like jumps into the river, really it looks like they're struggling, but they do swim to the other side and climb up one of the many ladders that are there.
I kind of point off to the left, and I'm just like, hey, isn't this the building for the alchemist? We should go inside.
We got to get through the next.
Well, yeah, you approach the inner wall,
Yeah.
and
There's a
then
hole there.
the inner wall is closed. The big door is closed. The small door that goes to like the guard tower, but also allows just people to go through rather than like whole wagons to go through. Just the smaller personnel door is open. It is guarded on both sides by two guards that stand there in crimson attire. They look at you and they just
Is
make
this
eye
gate-
contact.
This gate's open.
The gate, the door of the gate is not, but the small personnel door that would allow people to walk through is. Like if you had a cart or any type of thing, you have to check it and open
Right.
the door.
Which is people walk in.
There are the door that's at the bottom of the actual tower of the guard tower that takes the gate is open on both sides with two guards on either side and allows people to go through in and out. They see you on this side and they just kind of nod and don't do anything as you walk through. It looks like the guards on the other side are in far more high alert. Probably easier to get out than it is to get in.
Sure.
As it said, the more affluent people are here in this part of the city. You walk out, and this is even more bustling. So many people, lots of things going on. Clip, clop. You hear the bards and music and twangy lutes and a bunch of wooden wheels onto stone. It is full swing merchant. People are moving about. People are doing their jobs. You hear hammers of construction. A lot of construction you hear is going on. Very 5 o'clock in the morning. Some fucking roofer is still doing the fucking work. It's happening. You can spot like 8 buildings that are getting rebuilt. Like there was recently stuff that got broken and they're trying to rebuild. Yeah. And you can continue to head down. You will eventually
Not first main road, but like the second.
Yeah, the second road you can take a left, and that's where liquid lividities would be.
Yeah.
As you start to take one of the off roads, the roads get narrower, they get a little bit more populated. You can see people hanging off balconies and stuff. You approach this building that appears to have just a, those old fidget things that had the red liquid in them, and you'd hold them and your body heat would cause it to go through the loop and up to the top. It would it would boil it or bubble it, and it would cause just like the heat and the temperature and the pressure, the liquid to go to the top bulb, and it was like a glass thing that you held. It's like one of those that's being held and suspended by like 2 iron bars sticking out from this building that when the sun hits it, it appears to like bubble up, and when it goes down, it's like it lets it know it has the word open on the top of it and closed on the bottom of it. So when it's not warm, they're closed. Or when the sun's not hitting it, they're closed, and when the sun is up, they're open.
Yeah, so we've walked.
Little
like 2
alchemist
miles.
humor.
So this takes
And it appears to be open. It appears to have the bloop, 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 bloop. Nice big banded door. Nondescript cobblestone building.
Yeah.
It smells funky. It's like good kind of funky. It's like when you go to the bathroom and then you try to hide the fact that you went in the bathroom, it doesn't make it like ass smells like ass. And when you try to cover up ass with like peach or something like that, then it just smells like peach and ass. It doesn't make it smell better. So it's like there's a lot of like those types of
It's
there's
just
just
peach
too
ass.
many smells, and it's like it makes it unpleasant. But it's weird because some of the smells kind of smell good, but overall it's kind of unpleasant.
Cool. Yeah, wait, go ahead.
Yeah, you go in, ding, ding, boom, beep, boom. As you do, it hits some type of mechanical thing that causes a bottle to pour and then fill a couple of other things that the weight falls in a lever system that rings a couple bells. And you hear a voice from the other end that says, "I'll be right with you." There's this
Man,
big...
that's got to be like a pain to set up every time somebody walks in. Gotta,
See, as the door goes
refill
back,
the bottles.
it starts to reset itself as the liquid starts to rise, siphons back up. Yeah. Cool. Let me just make sure I have this guy's information right, because it's been about 3 years since I had to pull this guy up.
This is your show,
Yep.
my friend. So, just a note to you, TJ.
Yeah.
You haven't given us, like, coin. Like,
Yeah, you don't have any money.
we've been wandering
No,
around the woods.
I've got like 137 gold.
Do you? I've got 10.
I
we
have-
think you got
ransomed-
a little bit from Shale. From
We
from
ransomed
Shale
the
in,
satyr.
Quasmalt.
I think
Oh,
I
yeah,
might
that's
have
right.
like 10 gold on me.
Ransomed. Bounty. We brought him in for a bounty.
That's right.
Yeah, you brought the dude in for a bounty. You got paid some money.
Yeah, I've still got some.
Yeah, I mean, you've been in places where currency wasn't really a
thing,
thing, so it
right.
didn't really make sense for you to.
Right.
You have stuff you could sell,
Yeah.
so.
Oh,
You
get-
hear? I think
He does.
you're a halfling, right? I think you do hear some like swearing in an accent of halfling they're speaking halfling, but it's a different dialect, and you know this dialect. This is from the Twin Isles. Whoever this is, this person is from the Twin Isles, and they have a more like, "Oh, I'll be right with you," type of. Definitely feels like somebody that grew up with that and he moved here, but not a mainlander.
Okay. So I call back in halfling. Take your time.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Peruse and inspect
Yeah,
the
there is
wares.
there's a metal countertop. It appears to be like a sandblasted steel metal countertop that appears to be immaculately cleaned. Probably, they're dealing with liquids and other type of alchemy stuff. It's best to have kind of a lab countertop. But you do see that there's a couple other ambelix and siphon and other bubbling things. You don't see anything actively working, but you do see quite a few of alchemical. There's a whole apothecary wall with drawers. It goes deep, deep, deep into the back, and that you can see all these different jars of paraphernalia. Eventually, you hear and like, well, I guess that's phase one. And then you hear somebody step and wipe their hands as they appear to be rubbing something on their hands, like some sort of oil, and come around the corner. And it's not quite a halfling. It's like it's kind of like a three-quarterling, a halfling that's probably has some lineage with a with a human. So they're like kind of like their height is just just a short person, just kind of a short human. Perhaps a few exaggerated features. Definitely have that either northern or southern dynasty from the Twin Isles type of like facial structure. You can tell. Like, hello. So what is it that I can do for you?
Hi. Well, I've got two things to run. Oh, hey, your stuff is like.
Yeah.
Do we have a napkin? Paper towel.
Yeah.
Should be a
I
paper
was-
towel roll on top of the
Yeah,
fridge.
cool. Yeah, two things, and we'll be out of your hair. I was wondering if you had any healing potions, or
Yes, I have many potions of curative nature. Is there something that you were looking for?
yeah, just kind of run the gamut, stocking up for quite the trip, and I've found them to be pretty useful.
Just based for basic injuries?
Yeah, nothing too
Of course.
crazy.
I have at the moment 6 ordinary, as I would say, perhaps orthodox healing potions, 2 greaters, and I am currently should have the supreme in about 2 or 3 days ready.
Okay, and how much do those run?
Well, the regular healing potions are 60 gold each, and the greaters are 190 gold each.
Okay.
And the supreme will be about 3,000 once it's complete.
Okay. My next question, and I pull out the glowing blue fey mushrooms.
Oh,
I acquired these.
did I send you on an errand? Do I not recognize you?
No, these are from my personal stock.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I might not have the time to turn these into a potion, but they are the reagents for a potion of speed.
Oh,
I was
well, they
wondering how much you might value these at.
pull down like some. They hold one of those little like jeweler's glasses, then pull up a bunch of little magnifieds, like pew, 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 Spy Kids type of thing, and they look at it and they turn it. Like interesting. And they squeeze the gills a little bit. Ooh, potent. And where did you say you got this?
The Famors.
Oh,
Hand-picked.
really?
It's quite the journey.
Interesting. Oh, I haven't been to the Famors in. It doesn't matter. This is wonderful. What is it that you are looking to? Would you rather just sell it to me, or did you want me to examine the properties and create something for you?
Well, I was wondering, I guess, first your appraisal if I were to sell it.
If you give me a moment, I might be able to do some chemical analysis.
Okay.
Can I get you anything in the interim?
I'm sorry, I don't think we caught your name.
Yes, I am Hui Zhang.
Weijia?
Hui Zhang.
Weijia.
Hui, capital ZHON, or Weizhong, sorry. ZHONG.
Os for Goodmeadow. Pleased to meet you.
It is one word. Capital HUI, capital ZHONG.
Yep. Weijia. I like to know the name of the folks
Yes,
I'm talking to.
I'm sorry, it's been a while.
You can call me Bastian.
Okay, I will. If I need your name, I will call you that.
Os for Goodmeadow. Pleased to meet you.
Yes,
A fellow alchemist.
oh, yes. Are you from the? No, you can't be from the Isles. No,
I'm from the mainland.
a farmer by trade.
Yes.
Wonderful. Yes. So, how did you end up in the Famous? As they begin to pull out some things and snap some things on these off their apron and pull a couple vials out with liquids and start to take pieces and like.
It's a long, sad story.
Oh.
I'd rather not get into it.
I have something for that. If you're sad.
I do too.
They just it starts to bubble up really bad, and they just like drink the whole thing.
Did they just shotgun a beer?
I think an exploding potion.
Something for when you're sad.
Anyway, and they do it again. Would you like a go happy time potion?
No, thank you.
Happy go happy? No? All right. They're here all week. Tell your friends. Start to move and add some other solvents, materials. It starts to, at this time they appear to shake it a little bit more gingerly, and it turns to like this deep blue that then becomes this purple, and then into this puce that starts to get so like white, but not white so much that it appears to be like creating its own light. It appears to have like its own lumens, so it has that whole like looking like white when you look at a light right at its center directly, and have the aura of puce, the light that's actually giving off. It's like interesting. Well, it does have curative properties as well as how do I say this? Luminescent properties.
Okay.
But it might take more titration to fix it out proper. It might be best to be used to create rather than to heal.
Okay.
Like, how do I say? A material that would be able to substitute other materials?
Because I brewed a potion with this, and it apparently... Well, I guess we have them here, the potions of speed.
Yes, it is very quick to react, which would make sense. Parts of you might have been able to titrate the gills. That's probably where it came from, rather than the skin. The stem has a luminescent property, whereas the bell has a mimicarial property, if I had to make up a word for it, allowing it to, should you add it to another potion, would become that potion.
Okay.
You'd get twice as many potions
Useful.
if it's titrated correctly. But so I that's one of the properties I was able. You said there's speed and there's also curative. I could make 3 different potions out of this. I could make a copy potion, like a wild potion, I guess if you'd want to call it, a potion of speed, I suppose, if that's what it is that you want from it. Something that would enable you to move fast for a short burst of time before you get very tired. Or something that's quite curative very fast.
Okay.
How many of these do you have?
I have 4. 2 are for sale.
For sale.
Should you...
Did you want me to make potions out of these, or did you want to sell them?
I can make these potions myself. I was just wondering if this is something you found valuable and would like to buy from me.
Oh, you would like to sell to me?
Yes. If the price is right.
Okay, roll persuasion check.
12.
12.
Can I help?
How?
I just kind of put my arm on his back and say, yeah, he's really good at this.
Okay. Sure, go ahead and roll an advantage. It's more of an intimidation check.
Don't do it.
You will. Same exact roll.
Oh, there you go. That makes a lot of sense. I'm sure. Well, this will take a while to titrate, and the amount of resources I would have to expend to use solvents. But it is quite useful with the copy mechanic, which I could save a lot of time brewing other potions. So I would say, you said only 2 doses would be for sale?
Correct.
Would I be able to convince you to sell me 3? I'll tell you what. I will offer you 200 gold per dose for 2 doses. But if you give me 3, I'll give you 250 per dose.
My friend, we did travel all the way to a different realm to acquire these.
Yes, and you need expertise such as mine in order to be able to...
Well, my friend here, he could do it himself.
Oh. Well, then why do you need me?
We're a little
Short on time.
light in the pockets
Places
right
to
now.
go, people to see. You
Well,
understand.
of course, yeah.
You know, setting up a laboratory, doing all the work to turn it into a potion.
We generally don't have that amount of time.
It takes a day or 2.
Yes, I calculate that into my price.
Okay. Well,
So
But if you are looking to get more money faster,
Black market.
why don't would you have anything else that you're interested in selling?
no, I have some plant cuttings, but those are for my own personal stock.
Perhaps a trade then.
I do have a Bahostra seed. Well, let's go. Okay, let's go change out the scimitars
If
and come back.
we have a stop to make at the bank, so we may be back
of course,
to speak with you.
if you're wishing to trade, I could be a little bit more lenient in my price. As I said, I have 6 regular healing potions at the moment. I would be willing to part with all of them for 1 dose. That would be a total retail price of 360 gold. Those materials they're less labor intensive, so I'm be more apt to do that.
Question for you, TJ.
Mm-hmm.
Can Fade take healing potions?
Yeah, he's still organic.
Okay. I just
Yeah,
knew
he
he
has-
can
he has a lot of
take
parts of his-
muscle or not
I
metal.
can do both. I can take healing
Yeah.
potions.
I'm just thinking for like
or
how
I can just take a block of
we would divide this up.
a
His-
block of my booty
most of his
and eat it.
innards are made of ironwood,
Yeah.
which is an organic material that just acts like metal.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We just wanted to confirm for logistical purposes. So 6.
But
yeah.
I do have 2 of those metal.
yes.
They're more like like, technically they're still robots because cyborg is something
Deal.
that was born organic and that has metal components, but they're a biomech. He's a biomech.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yes, I will trade you one of the mushrooms for 6 healing potions, and
Deal.
we'll stop by the bank and come back, and perhaps we'll have more business.
Of
to
course, and I will continue working on my work. Perhaps the Supreme will be ready by then. It would be interesting if I could get it done and then copy it with this potion. I could make great profit. Yes, the 6 for you. There you go. And I'll take that. Thank you very much. And kind of like shove it in this big old jar that doesn't seem to fit, and they just break the bell off and be like, I'll deal with it later. That's totally fine. Everything's fine.
By any chance, do
do.
you
These
have
are 2d4 plus 2.
Yes.
Okay, cool. You said 6.
6 of those. Yep.
do you know a colleague of yours, perhaps named Milodonith?
I'm afraid I do not know that name.
We heard there was another alchemist by that name here that might have information we were looking for.
Every once in a while, I take a potion of forgetfulness to make sure that I don't remember their names. That way, I don't get to give out information for my competitors.
Do you guys have like any sort of organizational, like guild or union or anything like
Nope.
that? Independent contractors.
Independent contractors. Yes,
Good,
that's right.
good for
That's
you.
the way Tokrin likes it.
I pull out the autocannon and or the arcane cannon or whatever.
There's a dumpster around the corner.
I'm just like, do you know anybody that can take care of this?
Like I said, there's a dumpster around the corner.
No. Do you know who can take care of this? Like a gnomish tinkerer.
2
or
blocks down, take a left, trash can.
I'll put you in trash can.
Oh,
Thank you for your time, Kuizong.
you're very good. Have a good day.
Pleasure doing business with you.
A pleasure to you as
How,
well.
how late are you open today?
Until I'm not bubbling anymore.
Okay.
Till the
Winter
bubbles
is slow.
stop. Thank you.
Welcome. Anything else?
Good day to you.
All right, goodbye.
Okay. I guess.
leave?
Well, let's probably stop by the general.
They have like a bunch
store,
of
maybe?
other potions as well, but I mean, it's up to you.
We don't have coin.
Yeah,
We
you
need
know.
money first. Yeah, let's just go straight to the bank then, I guess.
Yeah, you guys can head over to Tokrin's Trust. Tokrin's is,
That's right.
it's like
Now I remember
you have to
what I did.
go
Is there-
all the way
yeah,
around.
Is there any type of like?
You are leaving Liquid Lividities.
Yep.
And you
Going
wanted to
to the
head
bank.
over to the bank, Tokrin's Trust. So you circumvent and go south by southeast, and then head over to the east sector, and you see this beautiful, gorgeous, opulent, gaudy, the opposite of austere. In dwarven
Rococo.
type of like architecture of that right angles and sharp edges. But everything's plated. The entire building is just plated in gold. Just full shining gold. The sun shines off of it, and it acts almost like a big old lantern in the day sky as it emanates in a bunch of light off to the roads surrounding it. The steps are made out of gold. Everything is made out of gold. It says in big letters, Tokrin's Trust, both in Dwarvish, Gnomish, and Common up on it.
The way you structured that sentence, I
very
thought you-
Trump,
I
yeah.
thought you said everything is made out of gold. It says on the building, everything is made out of gold.
Yeah, that's the slogan.
In
Tokrin's Trust.
in
Everything
case
is
you
made
were
out of
wondering,
gold.
everything's made out of gold.
Yeah, they give you a little pen that just says everything is made out of gold. And it's a gold pen. Yeah, it's got big, we're talking like New York Public Library columns with the sloped roof. And yeah, so you can go up there. This is where the affluent keep their money. Granted, you can do whatever you like, but you even go inside and every surface is either gold plated or has some sort of gold paraphernalia or aesthetic to it in some type of way. The cups that hold the pens are made out of solid gold. Like everything here is extremely opulent.
I'm imagining SpongeBob's future, but it's not chrome, it's gold.
Yeah, it's like that super shiny when like he left the fridge open and everything's like an ice rink in his place. That type of everything's super shiny. but not super shiny enough where you won't be able to get traction on the floor.
It's Trump Bank.
It's Trump Bank. Yeah.
But he doesn't have any money.
No, it's all just a front to make it
But he
look like
needs
he.
to
Look at me, look how powerful I am. Anyway, look at me, I'm compensating for absolutely everything. So you walk in
Is it like
without a
tellers?
shirt on, which is annoying.
He has a vest.
You have
He
a
has
vest on, yeah,
skin-tight
sure, you have a
vest.
vest.
I have a leather armor like a cuirass. Like it's skin tight.
So
like shark
there's no
skin
door here. It's just kind of open. It's kind of a doorway because they're so secure. Why the fuck would they need a door? They're
know,
so
might be cold
assured
outside.
of their own security. You walk in immediately. There are two goblins that swarm you, Bass, and just go like, and they're wearing tiny little two-piece suits, and that have on their like a corsage of a pin cushion, have a bunch of pins on it, and they've got those tape measures, and they go and like climb up and down you and take measurements of you, and they go, and you get poked a couple times with a couple pin pricks, and they come and they throw a blazer on you, and they say, and then they go like,
Okay.
because it's a dress code.
I thought that's where you were going with that. Nice.
You're
blazer.
fine because you're monastic order. They're not gonna fuck with you. You're like, they look at you and they're like, it's literally, it's part of your skin. They're not gonna fuck with that either.
I'm probably intimidating.
Well,
too.
you're also a Zektek, and in Tok'ran, since it's part of literally one of the members of the Triumvirate, like you get a pass.
So I ask the goblins to point us to a teller,
Also, you look dope as fuck. So
unless there's tellers that we can just see.
Good sirs, I appreciate your work.
Yes.
The pins that you used on
Yes.
me. Can I see those real quick? Can I like prestidigitate like
I already licked them clean.
Ew.
What do you? I'm a professional. What do you take me for?
a professional who licks blood?
Yeah, iron, buddy. I mean, you are a little salty, but it's
Do
okay.
you know where I've been?
In the sea,
Oh,
that's what it tastes
yeah.
like.
That's a good question.
You're a little salty.
That's a good point. That's a good point. You know what? Just let's
Bit
just
brackish
let's
for my
just
taste.
Let's just let it go.
Not my problem. You're a professional.
You look good.
When's the
Time
next?
bring your own.
When's the next full moon?
Here's some extra salt.
oh shit.
Welcome,
find out.
welcome to the pack, brother.
Yeah.
I was trying to stop things from happening, but you.
Nah, that's just what happens. Yeah. That's their job. They just fucking take care of it. What's bloodborne disease?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's that? So
Just like the tiniest werewolf.
sure. Yeah. So you walk through. You have like a nice blazer. This is your blazer now. This is a
Blazer,
free
like-
blazer.
Beach bum, like frayed bottom.
This is like
Capris
skinny
going
boy,
on.
like skinny jean boy blazer too. It's one of those tight fitting like
Italian super
Italian
skinny
suit. Yeah,
toys.
yeah. It's just the blazer, no dress shirt, no tie. Very like suits, like blazer, like twink blazer.
And while that's happening, I'm just like,
With like these very beach worn
Salt.
capri pants with like
Exactly.
frayed cuffs.
So you look like the son of a lawyer who's on vacation in
Yeah,
Toledo.
exactly. Barefoot.
Yeah, without the
Daddy's
salmon shorts. Who's going golfing later?
and while he's doing that, I'm just sprinkling the salt.
Sprinkling salt.
Yeah, no, so we walk in.
Yeah.
You said there's
If there's tellers, I would walk up
Like
to
the
a
man,
teller.
man without a sense of taste is just like, I guess.
The goblins are like,
Yeah.
So if there's a teller,
Yeah, there's these big, same dwarvish architecture, like right angle, like cage style bars
Yeah.
that separate very 1880s, 1920s type of bank where it separates the tellers from the front, and you see a bunch of individuals. There's a decent amount of Dwarvish and Dwarvish individuals here, but they don't discriminate. There's a bunch of others here as well. There's an Ibcast, there's a couple humans and everything. It looks to be about, it's a very, very large building, so it looks to be about like 45 tellers here to be here at any time. That's spread across, and they team.
is this a bank? Is that what
It is.
It's like it is in a bit of a U formation, and that way things can get. I'm sorry, a reversed U formation. That way lines don't collide and things can be spread out.
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah. So we go up to a teller.
Yeah, you do. You will have to wait in line for a little bit
Sure.
because everybody's pretty busy here. But after about a couple minutes, about like 10, 15, 20 minutes, you're
Dancing
able to
in the
get
elevator
through.
lobby music.
Yeah, there is a like a dwarvish version of "Girl from Ipanema" playing from like this dwarf that's playing some bongos, and a human who's plucking it on a lute. Bing, boom, boom, bing, 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 bing. Just as they emit music, you see. This is meant to make people very, very comfortable, so they trust that's where their money is going to go. They make a lot of money by investing these. So, yeah, you eventually get to the teller, and there appears to be this human woman with a shave right here and a side swipe of hair, with a bit of a scar on her chin. But is dressed very, very nice in some finery, but what looks like a white blazer and a puce tie. That appears to lick a piece of paper, write something off, and shove it up a pneumatic tooth that goes, thump, and then and goes somewhere else. It's like,
You have the persuasion, so.
hello, can I help you?
We have raw gold.
Well, it's not raw. But
Well, it's processed, but it's not in coin form.
Are you looking to make a deposit?
We would like to exchange for currency.
You're looking for a currency exchange,
Yes.
not a safety deposit box or
Correct.
account deposit?
Yes.
Do you have an account with us? She starts to pull out a couple papers.
I do not.
I don't think so.
All right. Would you like to open an account with us?
If it's all the same,
I don't think
We'd
that's
just
going to be
rather-
too useful to myself.
Is there a benefit to opening an account with you?
Oh, yes, of course. It's wonderful benefits. You get a reduction of 10% of the fees from your first transaction by opening an account with us. You also, with currency exchange, there is absolutely a fee, depending on what it is that you want to pawn, sell, or put up for collateral. Also, should you prefer to wait for this currency to get to you, we would be willing to waive the first fees on your first transaction.
Do you have to hold on to a certain amount of capital
I'm sorry?
to keep this account open?
Are you talking about whether your balance needs to be maintained in order for there not to be monthly fees?
What do
on your
you
account?
need to open an account for
Well,
us?
you can open a business fundamentals with us. It is about 20 gold per month. As long as you have $225 worth of 25 gold worth of transactions
See,
per month.
that's not exactly what we're looking for.
All right.
We're more on the like one-time transaction scale.
unfortunately, we just don't transact enough in the city for this really to make economic sense. I'm sure you
Most
can
of our
understand.
time is spent in places where you are not.
Perhaps you are looking more for a money changer then, rather than a bank.
We were told this was the best place to come to exchange gold in non-currency form.
You said it was just a 10% for a one
I
time,
will
right?
pull out a solid gold dagger.
Oh,
Now,
goodness.
we'll put it on to
It's
the
very
counter.
alarming that security did not detect that on you.
It's made of gold. It ain't gonna stab somebody too hard.
Yes, it does look ceremonial in effect.
We have
She does wave. She goes like, you didn't do your job.
Would there be
Thank you.
someone that could make this?
Into-
There is like
marked
what looks like
coins.
two very burly crystal brand that do just kind of they give you room, but they also know that you now have weapons and they're just doing their job. But they're like, yes, you have several of these solid gold ceremonial and bejeweled weapons,
Yes,
and you're looking to
we have no
trade them in
use for these.
proper currency. Okay.
Mm.
We would like currency.
A one time fee, you said it was maybe like 10%?
Why don't you? I want you roll a collective persuasion check across to all of you. See if you.
Wow, that
Nat
is the
20.
third 11 I've rolled in a
For
row.
what? 27?
29.
29.
Well, then I'll just
What,
let
why-
it
Twelve.
what did you get though?
I got a 15 plus nothing.
Okay.
12.
12. It's not bad, guys. It's really good. And then we got a 29 and everything. So you're like, that's not really what we're looking for. And
face.
you're like,
The face
what
of
if
the
we
party.
waived the 15%? And then Bast, you kind of throw your elbow on there on the counter. What do you say?
I'm sure you can make some sort of a transactional deal for
There. Something I
soldiers
could
of
do for you.
fortune, for the adventurous type.
She takes the paper that she was working on, she folds it, and she stuffs it under there and puts the pen away. Were these by any chance acquired in a event of blood or murderous intent?
Trophies of conquest.
Ah, trophies of conquest in an illicit manner?
Nope.
No.
They started it.
We were the defenders.
Ah, self-defense.
Yes.
And spoils of...
Actually, we got these defending an entire town in the Shailene Cradle.
what town in particular?
Cosmo?
Ah. All right. Just so I can catalog these properly. Yes, I believe we could do... So, usually I'm not supposed to
I
do
mean,
this.
if it also helps, they're of Fey origin.
Oh. Directly from the Famors or created by people with Fey ancestry?
Directly from the
Directly
Famors.
from the realm itself.
Interesting. Well, we would, of course, like to verify that type of things, but I'll tell you what, I don't usually do this thing, but if you do open a business fundamentals account with us just for this transaction and then, say, close it tomorrow, you will be able to avoid any other types of fees that should accrue during that time period. But you will also be able to benefit from said waiver of the first fees and 10% off of our own fee for
What
these
is the
transactions.
penalty
My
for
dear.
closing the account, though?
Now let's do that because we got to stay here another day for me to brew some more.
There is no
potions.
penalty for closing the account
dear,
as
you
long
help.
as it stays in good standing.
You help us.
You are too kind.
You are too kind.
Of course. However, if you would be willing to wait perhaps a few other days for us to verify the origin of, in order to get one of our magi, economic magi in here to cast a historical spell on these types of things in order to test their origins, they could be worth considerably more. You could still cancel the account before a monthly transaction hits, but it may take 2 to 3 days for us to make sure that we have
2 to 3
contact
days
with
we can
We
do.
can spare 2 or 3 days.
Oh, wonderful. If you would like to open a business fundamentals account, I will need you to fill out this form here. I'll need you to sign here, here, here. Whether you have a sole proprietorship, an LLC, or a partnership, and which of you have percentages in the business. And what is your adventurers troop's name? So I can make sure.
The first person who's ever asked us this. How many fucking episodes?
So I may put it on this legal document for records.
We go by the CrestVahllen Cold Iron Coalition.
Interesting. Very well. I do love the alliteration. Wonderful. CrestVahllen.
You can
capital
call us
V,
C3 for
Cold
short.
Iron. Is that Cold Iron one or two words?
One
A
word.
single word.
One word. Any capitals within this? Within the
Just the C's.
just the
Just
C.
call it C3.
Just the
Just be done
C's
with it.
and the V, of course, for the continent. Yes, of course. CrestVahllen, Cold Iron Coalition. Wonderful. Are you limited, LLC, incorporated?
We are not.
Wonderful. Independent entity, sole proprietorship. Wonderful.
The cradle doesn't exactly have bureaucracy.
No, it is a bit of a Wild West. Yes, wonderful. I entirely understand. But it is important for our records that we write where these came from. They were acquired during a battle, war, skirmish,
Skirmish? Siege?
siege. Ooh, that actually raises their value by 5% in the defense of a civilian town. Wonderful. By a
Crossroads.
siege
if that
of
makes it
Quasmont.
any
Wonderful.
more important.
By the yes, well, that is the definition of Quasmont. It does mean crosswords in Sylvan, of course. So we write this down. Yes, I all have these catalogs, and you said you had 4 of these. Yes,
It's like one of those gym memberships.
you said you have 4 of these. Yes.
But you can't get out of it.
No, my dear. I have
Considerably more.
a couple of larger blades and another one of these smaller ones.
So how many daggers?
2 of those.
Short swords,
A full gray sword.
full-length blades, and then
falchions.
2-handed blades. Do you have?
A full gray sword.
A full greatsword, solid gold.
Yes.
Where have you been hiding this?
It's rolled up back there.
All right.
2 falchion.
Please, you.
Please,
2 daggers.
please, I'm working. Falchions.
2 daggers.
2 daggers, and any short swords or
Just a 5.
5 short swords.
No,
The 5 weapons.
five
weapons.
blades.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to put up?
No,
As far as the gold weapons, that's what we have.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to put for safekeeping in order to accrue interest? They higher the value in there with the 2 days. With such an account, your in percentage is increased to 10% for the first 10 days of interest accruement, if you're willing to wait those days.
I'd say that's pretty valuable.
You would know that they would probably confiscate that.
Okay. Yeah, maybe not then.
As I said, and if you're ever concerned about anything, I understand there's.
The crystal brand.
If you would like
job
to
is
have some
make that
privacy,
stuff
you're
go
more than
away.
welcome
Yeah.
to.
Okay.
So
You're more than welcome to go into one of our soundproof rooms if you'd like to have some privacy to discuss these matters. But as once these things are on paper
mean,
and we are discussing, everything is entirely confidential.
if you're talking
and
about
private.
intrinsic value, like those 5 objects are what we got.
Very well. Everything is insured and covered, and there's no reason unless someone's life is in permanent, immediate danger for, let's say, cursed items and the like, and we have not been notified of such. All this information is confidential. None of this will be, unless it was gained through illicit means. But we would have no way of knowing it because we are just a bank. That is not our job.
Since we're gonna have to hang around here for 2 days, maybe 3.
You said we were in
Does the
Lucerne?
bank have complimentary rooms?
We do not have. We have lounges that you are willing to wait here where we open,
no
say,
accommodation.
deposit boxes.
I don't think you want to sleep in the lounge.
We'd be more than happy to give you a voucher for one of the local taverns
Yes,
or
please.
inns, if you would like, especially if your deposit is of a substantial amount.
Would these weapons
I will have to get them appraised if you would like to wait in one of our smoking lounges or one
will
of
the
our
appraisal
spas
take?
while we take care of these types of things. I would say anywhere between 20 minutes and 1 hour.
Sure.
Great.
Is there anything else? We do have specialty, we just installed these actually in this location. We do have specialty vaults made specifically for cursed items in order to keep their magic contained. We also have special adamantine vaults in order to keep things made of terrazine or terrazine pieces. We also have certain infectious items or those that might be
Plague worthy.
perhaps, yes. Those types. We also have quarantine vaults as well. Anything that you could imagine, we have secured for here.
have you seen an increased need for those quarantine vaults?
I'm afraid all customer information is proprietary and
Of
confidential.
course, I'm
so-
not asking for specifics.
Also, our own financials as a bank and as a privately owned sector of the economic branch of the Razorfang agreement is also confidential. However,
Curiosity, you
certain
understand.
investors are encouraged to seek membership on the board, should you wish.
Curiosity and my concern for well-being, got the better of me. I apologize for
There is no reason for you to
Digging
have
too
any
far
concern
into
of
your
your well-being
business.
within these walls. Every customer is a god. Everything is made of gold.
You might want to keep an eye on your tailor.
Yeah.
That'll work. An appraisal.
You mean Bartholomew? He's been here for 13 years now.
Yeah, just maybe keep an
He's
eye on
got
him for a little.
14 great-grandchildren.
Keep an eye on him for a
If
little
you
while.
had the need for quarantine vault, you probably shouldn't be licking bloody needles at the doorway. Just a piece of advice.
Thank you so much for your help here. We'll
Yes, if you'd be so kind as to wait here while we appraise your items. Is that all?
I believe so.
Great, so 2 daggers? Did you say 5 daggers? 2 daggers,
2 daggers, a great sword, 2 falchions.
2 falchions, and a great sword. Yes, they collect it,
You would
and you
have
have a
no
couple
reason
other
to know
people that
that
come
because
and
we
start to grab things.
haven't turned it.
Very burly people that really know what they're doing that put it on, that grab it with these microfiber cloths that then put it onto this rubber-lined trolley in order to like keep it very protected, and then they cover it as it gets transferred into the back, and like one of these big vault doors opens as they continue to go down to this endless just array of like gold and adamantine and steel and metal everywhere. As they continue to go back there and they go take a right into a different room. They're like, would you prefer sauna or smoking room?
Sauna.
Very well. Would you please feel kind? And one of the guards says,
For
and smiles
myself.
as you,
I
big,
don't
big,
want
big,
to speak for sauna.
huge smile on the Crystal Brand guards now. They're like, they're very much go like, can I get your jacket, sir? I'm sure you wouldn't want to bring such a nice finery of clothing into such a steamy, humid
Of course
environment.
No.
You can pick this up on your way out.
Thank you.
Cool.
I'm
Yeah.
not going in there.
Sauna.
I like
Sauna
your
time.
rest.
Oscar just starts.
You
shedding
go into the
clothes.
sauna. It's beautiful. It's wonderful here. Would you prefer to go in the smoking room, sir?
No.
We do have an oil bath ready for those more of our mechanoid persuasion.
Okay.
Very well. It is heated to 111 degrees Celsius, as per the perfect temperature for your.
Lubrication. Getting into all those.
Yeah, it's gotta
tiny little
be.
joints.
It's gotta be highly viscous so it can get in.
I'm
there.
getting really lubed up recently.
We also offer a complimentary polish after your bath. You guys go, you guys just live in the lap of
Gonna
luxury
give 'em
for
a
little
rub?
bit. You guys have given a decent amount of money to a bank that is all about money, and people.
They may not discriminate based on race,
but they,
do treat you better when
on
you're not. When you're
socioeconomic
rich.
status. Absolutely.
I'm like 2 baths in 2 nights. I'm rocking and rolling.
Yeah. No, you guys. So you guys live in the lap of luxury. You have a great time.
Is there a saline tub?
Yeah, I mean, there's everything's private.
a
You can have
sensory
an entire
deprivation.
room to yourself. This place is huge, so you could have an entire huge spa with a hot tub. You could do you prefer salt water for what? You can even pick the percentage of salt that you
But we're only
want.
doing this for, like, the 20
There's
minutes.
ones that have foliage within them that are self-contained ecosystems. Like we're talking about this is the 1% of the 1% club.
Yeah. But this is only for like the 1 hour or 20
Yeah,
minutes.
you're picked up. You're notified. There's like this little magical mustache that boom boom appears from atop of the door that just moves back and forth like a little hairy caterpillar. It says, "Your appraisal has been completed.
Are we talking like a
Take your time." But
like a
we
Mr.
will-
Pringle mustache? Are we talking like a pencil thin mustache?
No, we're
or
talking about like Wilford Brimley mustache.
not wider.
Walrus.
Yeah, caterpillar, big old mustache. And your appraisal has
Rod
been
Kimball?
completed.
Climb out.
Please do not rush. Take your time.
Full prestidigitation. Like.
Yep. Shower, bath, shower. And then, you guys are all collected and you
Slide the jacket back on.
like, oh, sir, please, no. Well, please enjoy. Have this robe instead. And you guys are all given like these really nice robes. These are complimentary. You can take these with you.
Oh, I'm shiny enough.
It's
Thank
it's these crystal brand are humans. These are which is very odd to you.
Okay.
I think like just because almost all crystal brand are like dwarves or maybe some gnomes. There's known to be like a couple, but I guess I suppose it makes sense that they're probably in a more of a rent-a-cop capacity here rather than actually having to deal with terrazine. Although
This is outside of the razor
yes,
cannon.
although you need to be trained in dealing with terrazine in order to be a crystal brand, so they must be able to. It's just this is what the population is here.
That was out of like not in game. That's what I was getting at earlier. Like the crystal brand, their job is terrazine containment.
Their job is terrazine containment if it goes awry. There are people, very rich people, who do have terrazine, and that's why they have terrazine vaults here in order to keep it. Like
Okay.
that's like they specifically said we have vaults specifically to contain terrazine. It is a controlled substance, but it doesn't mean the rich don't fucking have it. That controlled substance means nothing to the rich. Do you live in this world?
So what I'm hearing is we could deposit this and be making.
You could be
interest.
good. Yeah, they have vaults made of spent terrazine.
And
So
they're
they
not
just
gonna.
give me a blazer for free.
They're not gonna jack my terrazine.
Oh no, you didn't need a blazer.
Yeah,
you were
that's what I
fine.
figured, yeah.
You could
He
just,
needed a
yeah,
blazer,
like,
so
put
he,
it
they
in
just
a
gave him a
safety
complimentary
deposit
blazer.
box,
Yeah.
Yeah, but she said
The
items of
goblins
great
have.
interest would
It's really interesting.
accrue-
The Taylor
or
goblins
items
have
of
a
great
sixth
value
sense when it
accrue
comes to
interest.
does this person have wealth
Maybe
on them?
offset the
And,
fees of their
either you
monthly
get reported and you
business.
have to go change,
Whatever
or
account.
if you have a good amount of money on you, you just get a free blazer if you
Yeah.
on the dress code.
So if I want to deposit the terrazine, they wouldn't just like try to confiscate it, right?
No, never,
Okay.
never, no. They're saying is like we do not engage in illicit trading, but how would we know?
Yeah. How would we know you stole it? Very Swiss bank. Very Swiss bank.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like
As long as you
Everything's
don't
confidential.
Where did you get all this metal,
Exactly.
metal gold teeth
Sure
fillings?
Zemdak got slapped in manacles for just
Okay.
so
the appraisal?
you are brought
mentioning
back, and you said,
to the
so
crystal brand.
your
the
5
suspicion
items.
that he may have potentially at one point had some.
your 5 items at appraisal, given their current price during this appraisal, without a lore of legend Magite here to be able to give its history, to have a more of artifact and archaic type of value, is appraised at 4,900 gold. However, if you'd be willing to wait, that is not including the 5% increase from, if I do pull up my abacus, and she pulls out this abacus and does a couple calculations. Including the 5% brings it to 5,145, and increasing it directly from the Feyward by 10% brings it to 56.59 and 5 silver.
You mentioned interest on artifact.
That's correct. You gain a 10% interest per day that decreases by 3% each day for the first 10 days.
And that would be on
Anything within
things?
anything within your account.
So if we were to entrust you with a thing of value,
Correct. It would have to be appraised, and then we would assign a blue book value to it, and then we would, if it's safe to be appraised, of course, and then we would give you interest for as long as the account is open.
I kind of feel like I'm about to be like, walk into a bank and be like, would you store my plutonium for me? And just expect them to be like,
That's literally what they do.
That's
I mean,
cool.
that's what they do.
We're not
Like,
going to ask why you have weapons grade plutonium.
we'll even
However-
give you a couple of points of interest
probably
for
not
like
advised.
putting it in our
Probably
vault.
not
Our
advised.
estimated value, should this prove to be from the Feymores, would increase its value to over your total to be over 7,000 gold.
Okay. I figure we can hang out for a couple days. So I
Yep.
got some
Is there anything else you'd wish
mushrooms
to
to brew.
deposit?
Perhaps, but not at this moment.
Very well. Should you change your mind, the deadline is 9 p.m. In order for it to collect interest on the first day.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we
Does
talk-
that qualify us for the vouchers you were speaking of earlier?
Oh, yes, of course. Any deposit over 5,000 gold in value would qualify you for, especially since we have to take the time to do these types of archaeologic
We
findings.
truly appreciate your
Appraisals?
services.
Of course,
Like, that,
Everything here
That
is
sauna was spectacular.
we try, sir. As we said, everything here is
I
gold.
felt like I was
even
home.
the service.
For only an hour, but I felt like I was home.
I do have a question. Do you guys do appraisals, or do you have an artificer in-house that could appraise?
Oh, yes, of course. There are many who wish to keep their proprietary tech under lock and key, there are many non-competes, copyrights, rights in order to control certain projects that they create. Absolutely. This is more common in Minheim and Thulmorbed, but we have a branch here as well.
So you do have an artificer?
We do. Most artificery appraisals are restricted to the platinum quality Mendra strips and those who have citizen within the Razorfang nations. But seeing as you are what you are, you get complimentary service here.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's what you are. You are a veteran of the war. We give whatever you need. Our veterans policy is extremely
Well,
robust.
I would like to see, or I'd like to show this artificer
Confidential appraisal.
some
of course,
confidential
everything here is
appraisal.
confidential. Like I said, everything is gold here, even the confidence.
Okay.
Security, gold. Gold is rather soft, though. Platinum.
You think this is a good idea? Should I show him that?
It's up to you.
All right.
Did you want to
No
appraise
guts, no
yourself,
glory.
sir?
Let's go ahead and pull
Sell
out the
yourself in
arcane
this
cannon.
An artifact.
An artifact.
Oh, yes, of course. You would like an artifact, perhaps from an archaeological dig of some sort, to be appraised by an artificer?
From his
sort.
far past, perhaps.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Perhaps from when you were in service. Yes, during the war. Perhaps something that you used during the war. I don't mean to pry. It just helps me narrow down what it is
Not
that I
him
need to.
himself.
Perhaps some of my brethren.
Is it a Magitech item, or is it a mechanical tech item?
think it might be a Magitech.
Very well. I will make sure. Do you have time to? Let me check our schedule here.
We're here until you finish your appraisal, so
We should be able to get someone in here
the next 2 days or so.
at the same day your appraisal should be finished. Your full Lorish appraisal should be finished. You would be able to pick up your items and your completed over 7,000 gold deposit of all these items during more of the morning hours. But our artificial
Experts
lorist,
Would be here
artificary
later in
lorist,
that day.
will be in here in the afternoon hours. And the more time they have with you or the item, the better. But it's entirely up to. Again, I myself is not an artificer. I am a teller bank, and I know my numbers.
I do like the confidence of your confidentiality agreement. Though.
Of course. As I said, everything is gold.
What was the first figure you mentioned? 4,500.
If you
If we do it right now, it was
Yes.
Right, just in
if
power
you
size.
want
more
to
than
cash
that.
out correctly right now and close your account, you'll be given 4,900 gold in recompense for what it is that you deposited.
it was that plus 15%.
Ah, yes,
Yeah, so
plus,
it's
plus the
like
5%, and then the 10% for civic duty would bring it to 5,659 gold and 5 silver. If you would be willing to wait, and should this prove to be directly from the
Could be
Famors,
worth much more.
my estimated value, I would take a
71.
gander at 7,074 gold and 4 silver.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've got potions to brew. It's going to take a couple days anyways.
But would you like to book an appointment with a
Yes.
artificial appraiser?
Yes.
Of yourself, sir? Or
Both.
both? Of the item and yourself?
Sure.
Would you like to add this item to the same account in order to accrue interest as well?
Do you want to start here
We can retroactively apply interest once the appraisal has finished.
to the day?
Or would you like to open your own separate account?
I'd like to know what the appraisal is first before being able.
We won't be able to
decide.
appraise it for another 3 days until they get here, but we can retroactively apply the interest that it accrues while it's in the account if it's in the same account now.
I don't think that hurts, right?
No, of course. It'll be in a different physical vault, of course,
Yeah,
because
I
we
think
have
that-
temperate conditions and climate-controlled places for old items.
I think that's okay.
Very well. I will put artifact of unknown value within the account as well, and we'll have to retroactively apply that interest. Great. Well, we have, please, if you would willing to hand over the item.
Sure.
You do it. She just like, thank you very much. And I assume this is entirely confidential. So just to make your ease your mind, this area is magically sealed. Nobody can see in it while we are doing business. Thank you. And hands it off to the person that goes in the trolley, and it gets covered, and it goes off into the annals of whatever it is they have. Well, then the last thing is I just need your signature as a coalition, as I filled out this form for you. Each member should sign their name. Aliases are accepted. However, if you sign a name that it is not you, in order to, of course, remain anonymous, as many people are apt to do in the adventuring world, we may not be able to find you or confirm if it's actually you, other than those
Of course.
except by magical means, and then we would have to deduct that fee to be able to find you from your account.
Of course.
We will always make sure that you get what you need if you prefer to be anonymous, but it does expense for us.
Oscar signs his name, but it's really bad. His penmanship is like child drawing crayon on like fridge door art.
Very good, sir. And
Level.
she smiles at you very politely.
I learned my letters, but like,
Mine is just my first name in Aquan, so it's very like waves on a shore,
Yeah, with like coral bits and
like
stuff.
very flowy and very artistic and like very elven.
Yes, we do have a speaker of tongues here, so this will be wonderful. Thank you. And yourself, sir?
I mean, would you really forget this face?
just like drip some oil on the paper.
You-
Although I work here, so I'm not
you-
the only teller in charge of your account.
You will need to place a mark of some sort on the document
Yes, of course. This is a legal binding
to
document.
seal yourself.
I take a little bit of oil and I'm just like,
Smudge.
In the traditional
Swirly.
sense. Very good, sir. Very good.
And
I will
before
get these filed for you. Yes.
before we leave, just for our own edification, can we get a certificate of deposit for these items we've looked at?
Absolutely. I will be getting them in triplicate for you in case you decide to. Should your group disband during the times, which has very much happened within 24 hours, you will be getting 1/3 of whatever it is within the.
Proceeds to tavern, get violently drunk, group splits up, comes back.
You have no idea how much that
Want
has
my
actually
share
happened.
now. Give me my share.
It has happened so very often. But as I said, our rules and our confidentiality is made of gold.
Pleasure doing business with you.
It's a pleasure. And she hands you these
Cool.
triplicate forms of receipts. They are in a special type of font that is only visible while you are within these walls. Therefore, nobody can steal any of your information.
Awesome. Thank
You
you.
also can't prove to other people like you.
So we should come back in how many days?
Kind of thing.
3 days? 2 days?
Employees of this bank that are not within these walls do have a item with them that allows them to read this should they need to be.
I was just postulating like you couldn't use this as barter and trade like an IOU. Like
No,
Yeah.
it is not. It is just a receipt of account and of deposit.
And you need me to come back when again?
When your appraisal is done within 2 to 3 days of your items to recognize if they are actually from the Faymores, the afternoon of that day, perhaps mid to late
For me.
afternoon, there will be a few hours with you that the artificial.
I'm
will be-
assuming this
depending on how
inn-
complex it goes, it may be a day or two.
If we're staying at the inn that you have given us vouchers for, you'll know where to find us. So
Of course, but your privacy again is made of gold. We will not
won't be
disturb
notified.
you. We will not disturb you at your own place. But if you would like to request us to send you a missive,
please do.
very well, sir.
Cool. We've got potions to brew and taverns to tear up. Let's get on our way.
Wonderful, sir.
Run out and then run back in. Make sure you're.
These are complimentary vouchers for one of the more participating taverns and or inns at the area, which qualifies each of you to 2 free drinks and 3 nights stay.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
As we're about to walk out,
I stop inside the building.
yeah, I
You
walk.
stop inside the building.
I'm looking at the paper. I walk past the threshold. I'm assuming the ink disappears.
Yeah, it just becomes blank. Completely blank. Like
I-
even the form
Yeah.
positions,
I
or
take
like
two-
if it's a W-2 form, it just becomes a completely blank piece of
I
paper.
take 2 steps
I
back.
put the piece of paper like down into my body and like absorb it.
I back up.
You want to burn it?
No, absorb it.
Well, you don't get to like absorb it, but you can just shove
Tuck
it
it
in
into
there.
like
Yeah,
one
but
of the.
it-
You want to shove it into your
crevices,
cleavage. You
yeah.
got it.
I back up.
You pack it.
I
What?
back up.
You back
I
up.
walk backwards.
Everything reappears.
Okay. Cool. Just double checking.
You got it.
That they didn't just like cast an illusion on this piece of paper and we walk out and we walk back in and we're like, hey,
All of your stuff's ours.
we gave you a
this
bunch of really
established-
expensive weapons, and they're like, "What are you talking about?"
This establishment did not get as rich
I know,
as they
I
are
know,
by doing
I know.
bad business.
Just covering our bases.
Yeah, we figured as much.
Yeah,
Or
well,
I figured it.
I wasn't concerned until she was like, "Everything we've done in here, no one can even see what happened."
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, if she's just like ripping us off right now, that would suck."
Because a bank would never rip you off.
No,
They lose a lot. They would lose a lot of customers if they
Yeah,
had
they
that.
would lose
I'm
all
just
their
saying.
trust.
Who are
Who
we
they
gonna
gonna
tell?
believe? Yeah.
They also like they gave you complimentary stuff. Like
Yeah,
they
buttering
are
us
Talker's
up.
Trust 'cause
It's all
they're
part of
like,
the
"We're
con,
best
man."
The best. Our service is gold.
The return on investment
had
for
no
that
doubt.
fleece job is pretty high. So
Yeah.
They're more distrustful.
1 hour in the
spend
sauna.
100 gold making these
7,000
fools
gold.
comfortable and then stealing all their.
That's true. The
not-
thing about Talkerns as well is that every person is an investment, and when it every person is an investment. I lost my train of thought. Oh well.
Okay.
That's okay.
To the tavern.
We just wanted to test the invisible ink before.
So do we
left.
do we play skip forward a couple days or what are we doing?
That's up to you.
I gotta brew some potions. That's really all I gotta do in the meantime.
need-
We need money to do all the other things.
I
So.
mean, honestly, I
You'll
don't
need a
anything else
like
to do.
a setup to be able to do something like that. a
Yeah, I've got
space.
my kit.
Okay, cool.
I'll just do that in the
Your
room.
kit is like
It's the
it's
road
hard
version of
to
a
like your road version of it. You can do like minor stuff with that, like but actually like setting up like real potions, you might need to go get like actual supplies and have.
I mean,
You can do herbalism stuff. You can. That's fine. But if you want to like start to experiment, you need to.
no, I was
lab.
just gonna turn the other 3, or as many as I can in like 2 days of the glowing blue fey mushrooms into.
I believe we talked before. It's like you can do a potion a day if we're
Yeah.
just talking about like downtime.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can do a potion a day.
Well, I guess I would use one of them, cut it up into the 3 parts, and make the mimic potion, the healing potion, and the speed potion.
So it's one dose that can be used for one of these 3 purposes. You have to choose. You have a multiple choice when it comes to these things.
Okay. Then I'm going to make the mimic
Because
potion.
Although these pieces, like you decide, you need the whole mushroom for the thing, but you decide what solvent to use in order to bring out the titration of that part.
Okay. Then I'm going to make a potion of speed and a mimic potion. Or I guess
You got it.
haste and mimic.
Yeah, like a wild potion. Yeah,
Yeah.
A mimic potion. So you can do so, I believe, without needing to roll because you just do it because of because of your hedgecraft and all that jazz.
So I should. What is the
But here's the
proper
deal:
name
you
of the-
can roll if you want, and if you roll like really, really fucking well, you could make a really good version of the potion.
I'm not risking it. I can't get any more of these. I want to go back.
Standard version.
I don't want to go back.
Yeah, so a mimic potion will, when diluted into a potion, make either the
So you do
potion.
the whole, like,
Yeah, you can make the potion twice as strong, but
potions.
only in the precedence and the understanding of like, if you just pour half of it back out, you have 2 of the potions.
Right.
You can try
Backwash
to
potion.
see what it's like if you keep it in the same bottle and drink it, but you don't know what would happen all at once.
Double dose.
Yeah.
Hair in the ears.
Hair everywhere.
If he's holed up in his room in the inn, brewing.
Yeah, you're gonna be doing that like all day long.
So that's 2. I'm down to 1.
But you can still like that's your day. That's like 8 hours of your day. But you can still like go out and drink at night if you want to chill.
Yeah. I would spend those days like exploring the river.
Do you want to stay in this area,
canal?
or do you want to go to a specific tavern or inn?
I'm probably going to just be holed up, not really going out doing much. Just keep my nose clean of trouble, making my potions.
So you go to this place called the TikTok Knockout, which is just like it's kind of like the Marriott that the airport gives you vouchers for to go to. Well, when your plane was late or canceled, that type of thing. That's it. Yeah, and it's a nice place. It's very cozy. It's very it's made of brick of stone and then some of the top layers of wood. And the rooms are large. You can either all have your separate rooms or all be in one room together, and they can take care of it for you. You guys want to sleep in the same rooms,
Yeah.
or do you guys
If
want
we
separate
have
rooms?
if we have 3 rooms, I want my own room.
Okay.
I would probably spend my days. I'd probably do kind of the same thing as him, only I would be looking for like odd jobs.
Sure. You
to
can
make
do
it
that.
extra
So the
coin.
TikTok Knockout is
scout
just
for, like,
1 block
magic
west
weapons.
of Tokran's Trust. So
Or
it's
just
just
a magic item
right
or
where
something.
that like Scrum Diddly Umptious
Could
place, like
probably
that Scrum place.
spend
It's at the
cash there.
north side of that. It's just one of those places, just a block away.
Maybe pick up one of those other crazy young
You're looking for odd jobs, and
I
the
would
like?
just do odd jobs like take a kitten out of a tree. And
That's
sort of stuff.
not necessarily how the economy here works, but I understand what it is you're looking
Yeah.
for. If you want
You want
to
Valor
look
Bell.
for something in order to get some walking money, like just some pocket money, your build attracts more people propositioning you, or your search for like jobs on the job board for things that requires like lifting and transferring things from one place to another.
Just
and,
simple
like,
day jobs or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, you can do some work there. You will excel at that work because you are extremely strong. You can easily, you can decide, like, do you want to do freelance work or do you want to work for the city?
Is there a bonus or anything?
The city includes insurance as well.
Day one.
Day one insurance? It's pretty good. For
on the
one-day
job
labor.
on the job injury insurance. Yeah, Lady Rhea knows what the fuck she's doing. The city includes insurance should anything go wrong that is not your own fucking damn fault.
Okay.
Like it's incidental.
That sounds a little safer.
If you start moving like black
climb to the
powder and
top
it
of one of
fucking
the
explodes,
guard towers
that
and
wasn't
not
your
jump
fault.
off.
It's fucking black powder. You know, it's
Okay.
like it's like just in case there's dangerous materials, and it's pretty much
Does it pay less or something?
Yeah,
Be a
it's
guard.
it's more for people for merchants that are coming into town that have heavy things that need to be like that need to be offloaded in order to be inspected just to make sure that taxes are properly done.
How much less does it pay than an independent?
It doesn't pay less. It's just that independents will tip you, like have like a habit of tipping you, whereas the city does not tip you.
Let's just keep it simple. Let's just say city.
Okay, cool. You're able, because you excel at this job and you really help the traffic, you're able to make like 10 gold a day, which is a really, really good amount, because you're able to increase the rate of how some of the merchant stuff comes in from the east gate by like 300%.
And is that 3 days or 2 days?
It'll be 3 days.
3 days.
But on the third day,
Two-
I'm
2
sorry,
days
it's
of
2
working,
full days. But
and
on the
then the
third
third
day
day
is when you
is-
need to go
yeah.
do the thing.
Okay.
So it's like
2
so
days.
2 days of work. So you get 20 gold from this. I will say, do me a favor and roll a either investigation or perception check while you are dealing with a lot of these people.
Perception plus 5.
Either in perception or
So
investigation.
23.
23. You do notice on 2 of these boxes or merchant caravans, there does appear to be a surreptitious marking upside down and like near one of the edges.
A what type of market?
Surreptitious, like hit, like not obvious,
Okay.
inconspicuous
Okay.
marking of like kind of like a maker's mark, but not that. It appears to be some type of
Crime syndicate.
looks
Smuggled goods.
They're both like the 2 that you find are in 2 different caravans and they look different, but it's interesting. It has nothing to do with like the actual company. There's like the company with the name on the box, like Lon Lon Ranch Milk, blah blah blah, whatever. And in the corner there's like a little like hidden kind of like an inconspicuous kind of stamp or like,
Okay.
carve out. You roll a history check for me.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. You recognize this. This is something that you pull back from possibly one of your souls who was involved in perhaps some not so above board dealings. This is the symbol of the Noxetra. So these are goods that have probably been marked to be
off the
either
back of a
smuggled, not necessarily smuggled,
Reacquired.
but like under what?
Reacquired.
Yeah, reacquired, or just like this has to do with some black market probably stuff or underground stuff. So my question to you is, do you out
Report
these
it?
people or do you let it go through?
Oh no, I'm gonna report them.
You gonna report them?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you report both of them or just one of them?
All of them.
Okay, you report both of them. They are both gatherings of people who are in charge of both of these caravans are taken into custody and their goods are confiscated. You are given an additional stipend for your good work, which amounts to an extra 200 gold.
If we ever wanted anything from the Noxetra, that door is closed to us now.
Yeah, but you now are also known to the Noxetra as a fucking rat.
narc.
Fucking narc.
Well, nobody told me. I'm just like.
Yeah, you do you.
DeVleder was part of the Noxetra.
The guy we're looking for.
Yep. Now he knows our descriptions, and now he knows that we just
Yep.
fucked up his business.
Cheers.
Well, now you know what kind of person Fade is.
Yeah, we're taking that out of your cut.
Great. So you get 220 gold from that.
Okay. But I
Wait.
did the right thing.
There's no such thing. Moral is a fucking spectrum and entirely objective.
Equal.
Subjective.
Bass gets up, eats breakfast, takes a main road circuitous route back to the canal.
Sure. I
So,
mean,
like-
it's super. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But I mean,
Yeah, you just kind of run
right,
through the city.
left. Yeah. I'm
Sure, sure.
looking for any other alchemist shops that sort of stand out to me.
Yeah. Is there anything specific you're looking for other than just general alchemy?
Magic items and weapons.
I'm looking to see if I stumble across Milodonith.
You don't know what Milodon looks
I
like.
know. That's why I was looking for alchemist shops.
Okay.
Secondly, I'm looking for.
You also have no idea who Milodon is. You
No.
don't know what race they are. You have no idea.
But hey, I see another like
People in the city
bubbly,
don't just wear name tags.
like.
Make everything a lot easier.
I see another alchemist shop. I can poke my head in and be like,
Hey, are you Milodon? No? All right, bye.
I'm looking for an alchemist named Milodon. Do you know this person?
Okay, cool. Let's summarize this in like you are trying to canvas to look for this person.
Walk to the canal. If
Sure.
I come
Why don't
across
you roll
this
an
place,
investigation check for me?
I do something. If not, I just go to the canal.
This is like you're doing. You're trying to Dresden find this dude
I'm
or person.
sort of. Yes. 15.
15. You don't get anybody who recognizes the name Milodon.
Okay.
However, you do get some information that the name Milodon sounds more elven than it does any other type of thing. For you, that doesn't really mean because the sea elf stuff doesn't really jive with land elf anything. They have like very different names. But maybe if you went back circuitously, or whatever it's fucking called. I'm trying to find the roots of things. They may have common ancestry, but
Etymology?
Etymology, thank you. I meant by like roundabout way. But yes, you could possibly. What you understand is it's probably a gender ambiguous elven name. I think probably some of the other information you may gather is if they were around when Ultier was around,
Very
they
old.
are probably full elf, and they are very old.
Okay.
They've been around for a very long time.
Okay.
And as we had talked about how like the actual age of elves is how long they actually live is somewhere between a well-kept secret and a mystery. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. And then anywhere
But
else.
nobody has heard of their name here, which I think would give you the sense that they may not be here.
That checks out.
The
That
only
dude
other
was
thing
super
I would
old.
be looking for is like,
Because you asked quite a few merchants.
we sell magical items.
Sure.
Like
Um,
artifact antique shop kind of thing.
yes.
Doing some investigation for where to spend our money.
Um, so you kind of get pointed to two places. One is Quolin's Curios, and the other is what is one is General Goods.
Okay.
Quolin is spelt Quolin. Quolin. Curios, like curio, the word curio. Quolin's Curios, and one is the other is, well, I mean, General Good has a bunch of stuff that's from everything. Like, General Goods that you need, and sometimes you get some cool stuff. General Goods, and
Specifically, this
Quolin's Curios. Those are the, like, two places that, like, in your quick investigation,
Yeah.
you're able to, like, suss out.
So like 2 hours wander to the southern canal, spend a couple hours swimming around,
Sure.
couple hours walking back, have dinner,
Sure.
meet back up with my friends.
That's the information that you get. Did
Repeat
you want to
the
go
next
to
day.
any of these places?
Not yet.
Okay, you got it.
Swimming the canal, do I find anything?
Like what? What are you looking for? You find water, walls, ladders, buckets,
Right.
ropes.
Some floaters.
Some, what is it, Winsons? Windlass?
I don't know, going through like underneath the midnight Athenaeum,
You want to go into the cave?
like as far as I can swim in a couple hours, like
Do
I'm sort of going
Do
north.
you want to go
Yes.
into the grotto, like
Yes.
underground? Okay, cool. It's dark. It's very, very dark. There are some spots where people have like set up a couple like tailgating things near the entrance, but they start to get far more. It's more and more sparse, as far as like, you know, people being like, oh yeah, kids just checking out, like we're in the grotto, like whatever, and like someone just like hanging out trying to hide out and have a really nice long bathroom break from their work or whatever. But as you start to swim more upstream, it starts to get like the waters start to get a little more intense, and the stalactites start to get dangerous, and it starts to get wider, and there starts to be like not like kind of like rapids, and you're getting the sense that this is not, you're now in the full underground spot of a place where like this isn't cleared out from wildlife. There's probably dangerous creatures that are down here.
Do I get the sense this is regularly like divers come through and clean up after people, or have people like dropped stuff?
You get the sense that the course of nature cleans up whatever's left here. And there are people that go through these things kind of like, oh, I did the thing, I went through it, ah, you're still alive, cool, yeah, whatever, that's fun. And so it's not like extremely dangerous, but it doesn't mean that you're no longer within the bounds of civilization when you're under this thing.
Have you seen the people that do like diving at popular beaches and like pick up iPhones and...
Yeah, and they sometimes like go under like through caverns in the stone and have a chance of like fucking drowning and then come back up. Like it's fucking wild.
But like, do I get the feeling I could salvage anything?
I understand. You're looking for
By like scouring the bottom, or
perhaps
is it not
lost and
worth it?
found.
Yeah.
You could try. I mean, it's, with the amount of people that have gone through here over the years, there's a chance. There's also, I mean, there are a bunch of creatures that like to pick up shinies and then eat whatever people that drown that might have been left here or stuff like that. So you can. My question for you then is, how far do you want to go in? How far upstream do you want to go?
I'll go pretty far. I'm a good swimmer.
Do you want to go quarter of the way, halfway, all the way, 3/4 of the way? The
How far
halfway
could
you're
I
gonna be
get in 2
smack
hours?
dab like under the midnight.
How far
hour.
could I get in 2 hours?
2 hours? You could probably get, if you're going upstream, you could probably get like a quarter of the way up there.
Okay, that's how far I'll go.
Okay, you'll go a quarter of the way. Yeah, it's you're not in any place where there are people that have set up like things in the grotto. You're way past that. They're now in the parts where you make one wrong move with whatever type of flotation device or swimming that you're going down this thing in, and you can smack up against a very sharp stalactite and stalagmite, and there's ones on the bottom too, and that's it. You're done.
As soon as I get into the dark, I would go
It's dark.
fishtail.
It is dark 30 feet into the grotto.
Right.
Like, so it's dark almost immediately, and then you go like another mile before you like.
As soon as like the people outside don't see me anymore, I've got shark tail.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you got it. And you can breathe underwater, and you're moving it. Sure. Why don't you do me a favor? 1 roll survival check, and then 2 rolls investigation check.
Nat 20 on the survival.
Perfect. So you don't get impaled by stalagmites.
Oof. How's that going?
Investigation,
Yeah.
3.
3. Okay. So
I'm
you
having
are
too much fun
super
swimming.
confident with your swimming. You're like, hell yeah. You're like, I'm swimming. Hell yeah. And you go up this. You see something out of the corner of your eye that is looks like a hint of some. So there is some bioluminescent like underwater life here, like fungi and a couple other sweet wavy things. And so you are able to see with your dark vision and some other light that seems to be. Sometimes there's openings that do go all the way up and appear to like glance off of whetstone and then create some sort of refractory stuff every once in a while, because it's still naturally forming something that was built up on top of. You get a glint out of the corner of your eye that's quite shiny, and you go and you see it's like whatever it is probably about like yay big. And you are able to see what looks like some remains of some tattered like leathers that have been like impaled upon stalagmites that are near this area. Probably just an unfortunate person that lost something. Who knows? Maybe there was somebody smuggling something. It looks to be some type of very shiny, like refractory thing with many facets. Off in the corner, you go check it out.
Yeah.
As you get closer and closer, it gets brighter and brighter, and you see that it's actually the tide has kind of pushed it into a bit of like a side grotto or a bit of a side tunnel, kind of like a cave that goes a little bit further and deeper inside, like kind of a tide pool of some type. And you go check it out, and as you do, it seems to like you disturb that area a little bit, and some of the water like kicks up, and it seems to move a little bit. And so you go further to check it out. And then it seems to like raise from the ground and sway back and forth. Roll a wisdom saving throw for me.
As soon as it shows sentience, I'm out of there. But 22.
22. You just start to get like, oh, this is a charm effect, so you need to do it at advantage.
That was pretty high, so I'm not going to beat it. 19.
19. Okay, you start to like kind of feel like enchanted by this thing, but you don't get like mechanically charmed by it, but it is beautiful. And then the light of it that it has appears to show and glance upon large, long, curved fangs that are pulled in with each other, very anglerfish style. And you hear a voice in your head. Before you leave, you hear a voice in your head saying, "It's been a while. I've missed you." And we're going to cut from there, and we're going to go back to what you guys are doing. As you guys are done with your job, and you are waiting at the steps of Tokran's Trust for Bast, who has not showed up. How long do you guys wait?
If he's not here, I'm going in.
I'd probably give him like an hour.
You gotta give him an hour?
An hour.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about what happens in that hour next time. Thank you guys so much. As always, stay safe out there. Bye. We'll see
And
you
if you're
next time.
watching this...